Booyah! And just like that, we are back in business for another wacky, wild Wake 'em Up Wednesday. Hell yeah. So, here we are again, y'all. Another Wednesday. Another Wednesday has fallen upon us. Are you guys ready to have some fun tonight? I got a great show lined up for you. We're going to be talking about the next big Psyop and the next possible big attack that might go down on June 11th. There's some people making some predictions that June 11th might be the date when the next big Psyop goes down. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Also, I'm going to be talking about a very popular YouTuber, Asmongold, or as I like to call him, Asmongold, tonight. Definitely going to dedicate a segment to Asmongold and his channel tonight because YouTube wants everybody to watch him. You know, YouTube does their best to put that guy in everyone's feed, and he gets millions of views talking about basically anything and everything. So tonight we're going to take a look at this channel that can essentially just get millions of views for falling out of bed and having the most basic and mundane of responses and reactions. So we're going to roast Asmongold tonight. What else do I got for you guys? Also thought we would take a look at the recent rocket explosion. So one of Jeff Bezos' rockets exploded on the launch pad, and it looks a little fishy. So we're going to take a look at the explosion footage, that and a whole lot more. It's going to be a good show. Going to be a good time. Hopefully you guys will stick around for the whole show, and hopefully you guys will start me off with a thumbs up. It would be most appreciated. All right, so who do we got out there tonight? We got Holden here. I see Holden is in the chat. What's up, Holden? All right, we got LaFleur here. He said, what an assmon. Yeah, he's pretty much a mongoloid who sucks ass. He's an ass mongoloid. But yeah, he's artificially inflated on this platform. And tonight, I'm going to show you some examples of what I believe to be bot comments. We'll get to all that tonight. All right. Who else is here? Jonna's here. Hi, Jonna. Nice to see you. Got my lovely mods here. Awesome. All right. Big Money Bob in the house says, ooh, yeah, baby. Ooh, yeah. Rose Bell, she says hello. Hi, Rose. Nice to see you tonight. Nice to see everyone tonight. Truth Hurts is here. He says hello. Hello, all. Decran 4D in the house. All right, all right. Good times. And I see you guys saying hello to each other and welcoming each other. It's awesome. We got our own little community here, right? All right. So, starting us off like usual, RY sent the first couple super chats. There's not that many tonight, so we'll get through the super chats real quick and we'll jump right into the show. But tonight, getting us started in some of these characters who RY wants me to do impressions of to get us started. I'm going to be talking about these people. So it actually works out to where I'm going to do some impressions about some of the characters I'm going to be talking about tonight. So without further ado, you guys ready to kick this party off? RY with the first super chat of the night. In fact, this was the first one here. He said, can you please do an impression of Alex Jones interviewing Asmongold? Alex Jones rants about InfoWars going off air and rambles how Owen left him and talks about Jesus. All right. I think I can make it happen. And you also have your second super chat, which fits into the first super chat. You want Richie from Boston to join Alex Jones and Asmongold during the live interview and promote his new organic Bible vape juice energy drink product, and also talks about Jesus. All right. So Alex Jones, Asmongold, with Richie from Boston joining in. I'm going to cram both these super chats into one. All right. What a way to make it happen, right? Guys, I don't even know how to even freaking start this stream, but to tell you, tonight, I'm going to have one of my heroes. And I'm seriously like freaking out right now. Like seriously, what the fuck? I'm like starstruck right now, you guys. I have no other way to tell you this, but one of my heroes, my all-time heroes, Alex Jones, is going to be on my show tonight, you guys. Yeah. So I don't even know what to ask him, you guys. I'm seriously freaking out right now. I feel like I'm being fucking mogged. Bro, this is crazy. Alex, welcome to the show.
Asmongold, I want to thank you for having me on your show, and I got to tell you right now, I don't know whether to puke. I don't know whether to cry. Can't decide which I want to do first. Ever since I've lost my beloved InfoWars show, I haven't felt quite the same. And of course, as you know, just a while back, that friggin' backstabber, that evil snake in the grass, Owen, he stuck the knife into my back and he left the show. We left on bad terms. And things just haven't quite been the same, y'all. So you guys have literally seen these goddamn globalists try their best to censor me, trying to take away my voice. But I shall not go quietly into the night. Folks, as long as I still got a voice to speak, as long as I still got a heart beating in my friggin' chest, as long as I still got the good Lord above, Jesus Christ, guiding me, I will fight the good fight, and I will take it to these globalist deep state sons of bitches till the day I freaking die.
You guys, this is seriously the most awesome thing that's ever happened. I can't believe I get to have one of my heroes on my show. Like, I seriously can't freaking believe this right now. Like, seriously, WT the freak F right now. This is crazy. Can you guys believe Alex Jones is on my show? Like, I have to like pinch myself. This is really happening. So, what? How are we going to stop these globalists?
Well, I still have a plan, but what we got to do is we got to act fast, folks. It's time for a revolution. Now is the time to fight back. We have to fight back, but without violence. What we need to do is we need to have a revolution, and it needs to happen now. It needs to happen sooner rather than later. The goddamn Democrats, when they get back in office, if Trump leaves office, they're going to put me in prison. Is that what you want? Some of you people, I know that might make you happy. I've been on the front lines. I've been doing this longer than anybody, folks. Nobody has been doing this as long as me, folks. And let me tell you, dark days are ahead. If the Democrats get back in office, they're going to put my ass in prison. That's why they've been trying to kill me. That's why I've been ducking and dodging bullets. Folks, no joke. I literally have to dodge bullets in my sleep. These damn Democrats trying to kill me. I have to look around every corner worried that there's going to be some freaking sniper putting a goddamn friggin' laser beam on my head.
Guys, Alex Jones, people have called him a lot of things, but one thing they've never called him was wrong. You guys, you can say whatever you want about Alex Jones, but one thing you can't say, he's never been wrong.
That's right, folks. That's why I'm here until the day I die, preaching that you got to get right with God. And that's exactly where I'm going to make my entrance. This is a surprise entrance. Hello, Alex. Hello, Asmongold. So I heard you say that you need to get right with God, and truer words have never been spoken. All right. And who exactly are you? Alex, just let me go ahead and start by saying, I can hear in your voice that something is deeply, deeply wrong within you. And you yourself, not only have you not gotten right with God, So you need to practice what you preach. But I can tell that you have a serious problem deep within. And I'm talking about deep within your anus, where the Chinese nano drones have firmly implanted their nanoware technology. And I can hear the demons deep within you, Alex. What you need to do, you need to either vape my 100% organic Bible vape juice, or you need to drink my 100% organic energy drink that I just developed. It's organic Bible energy drink juice. So if you don't like vaping, if you don't want to vape my organic vape, then the next best thing is to drink my 100% organic Bible vape drink. It's like a vape, except it's a drink. Either one will get rid of your nano AIDS. There's only 2 known cures to nano AIDS. You either vape my Bible vape, or you drink my Bible energy drink. The choice is yours and yours alone. At any rate, I digress.
All right. Whew. All right. I had to fit all that shit in there. I think I made it happen. You guys, this is seriously crazy right now. 2 of my heroes on my stream right now. I can't believe this is freaking happening. All right. All right. We got Insane in the Brain coming in with a donation. Said, just got fined $81 for walking my dog on the only decent patch of grass around. No signs, warning, or victim. Just one government sheeptard. Thanks in advance for the laughs. Okay. So you're out walking your dog and you got a ticket. So was the dog off the leash and you got a ticket for walking your dog off the leash? Or did you get a ticket for your dog taking a shit and you not like picking it up or something? Like what exactly was the ticket for? Right? Because walking your dog isn't illegal. So you must have had your dog off a leash or something. So I'm wondering what exactly was the reason for the ticket. But whatever the reason is, that sucks to hear. And I'm sorry to hear that. So I appreciate the donation. But hearing that you got fined for a simple dog walk adventure, that sucks. I go on dog walks every day. So I don't have a front yard or a backyard to let my dog out. So that means I take my dog out every single day, multiple times a day. So hearing something like this, it breaks my heart to hear a fellow dog walker getting messed with by some government servant out there trying to rob you of your hard-earned money for walking your dog. This place is going to hell in a handbasket, I tell you.
Hell in a friggin' handbasket, y'all. Can't even go out and walk your damn dog. They're turning the frogs gay. They're ticketing people for walking their friggin' dogs. These goddamn globalists. Make me sick. Make me want to eat my neighbor's ass right now.
All right. RY says you're the best, Jake. Oh, thank you, RY. Getting us started with some super chat impressions. Talking about Alex Jones, Asmongold, and Richie. I like it. I dig it. Thank you. Good times. Good times. And RY says, Semperfish said Richie from Boston makes a pina coladic. Pina coladic.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I make one of the juiciest, creamiest pina coladas that you've ever drank. At any rate, you gotta like, share, and subscribe. And if you do, I just might tell you the recipe for the creamiest, juiciest, most delicious pina colada you've ever heard or ever drank. You ever heard a pina colada? Let me tell you what, this pina colada is so good, you're going to be able to hear how delicious it is. At any rate, you're going to want to like, you're going to want to share, and you're going to want to subscribe. I don't know at which rate you're going to want to do either of these things, but at any rate, you're going to want to do all of them. However, I shall digress. At any rate, at any point, I might digress. At what rate I decide to digress, I haven't yet decided. I'm still trying to decide at any rate which I should digress. When I go ahead and I do decide at what rate I am going to digress, I'll be the first to let you know. So this one's going out to Semperfish, drinking his pina colada. You want a pina colada or you want a pina coladic? It's going to be two different prices. If you want a pina colada, it's going to cost a lot more.
All right. I don't even know what we're talking about now. Pina colada. All right. All right. Silly stuff. All right. All right. You guys ready to kick this party off with the first video of the night? I'm thinking we should start things off with the Jeff Bezos rocket exploding. And then we'll work our way from there. That's a good starting point. So yeah, one of Jeff Bezos' rockets exploded, and it looks an awful lot like it could be CGI, but I don't know. So I figured I'll show it to you guys, and then we'll sit here and speculate whether it's CGI or not. But either way, the fact that they got a rocket exploding, and then there's these other stories about sonic booms and explosions in the sky and meteors exploding. It seems like there's a theme of explosions right now. So we'll take a look here at the Blue Origin New Glenn rocket explode during launch. And away we go. Well, that happened quick. All right, let's watch it one more time.
Oh, no. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, my.
I mean, I guess it could be real. I guess they could have blown up an actual rocket on the stand. But I would figure a fake explosion, CGI explosion, AI explosion would be a lot cheaper and easier. I would think the cost effectiveness of faking this would be a lot more in their favor to just go ahead and service up an AI explosion rather than actually blow up a real rocket. So I don't put it past them to actually blow up a rocket on the stand and film it for us. You know, show us something, a glorified firework, if you will. But I think it would be a lot easier if they, you know, just showed us a fake explosion. But they aren't giving us any sound to go along with it. So I'm thinking I'll show it one more time. But this time I'm going to supply the sound effects. All right, here we go. Huh? What do you guys think? I think that made it a lot more intense when I added the sound effects. All right. So I guess here's a farther, less impressive look at the explosion. So there you go. Jeff Bezos' rocket exploding, you guys. How about that? See, they want you to think that going to space is dangerous, and that it could happen at any time. Too bad that didn't happen on the Katy Perry rocket, right? If only that could have happened when Katy Perry went to space, right? Just kidding, Katy Perry. Just kidding. Or am I? I'm not. All right. All right. What do you guys think? Is this an AI explosion we're looking at? Or is this like the real deal? Put it in slow motion. I guess it doesn't matter either way. What do you guys think? AI? Some of these little like shrapnel pieces and stuff look computer generated, or like they took like some fireworks and then like made it look even more big and intense. Like you take a small firework explosion, film that, and then edit that to make it look much bigger than it actually was. So they can even explode something for real that's small, but then make it look like it was the rocket exploding. So there's a number of ways they can fake this, of course. Heisman says, looks like a movie. Termite Vomit. Cool name, bro. Says total horse shit. All right. Holden says fake explosion, whether it's AI or CGI. Yeah, I tend to lean towards it being fake because they can do that extremely cheap as compared to, you know, having to actually blow up a real rocket. Yeah, Davey D says CGI. I think this one was in Florida. Cape Canaveral. All right. We'll check out the mainstream news report, see what they say. All right.
Blue Origin is warning today that debris from this rocket explosion may show up in nearby water for weeks and that people should stay away from it.
Debris might show up in the water for weeks and people should stay away from it. Oh, wow. So now they can blow up a rocket on TV and then tell you to stay away from water. You might see contamination in the air, in the water, everywhere you go. So just stay away from that. If you see any possible pieces of Blue Origin contaminating your whereabouts, just go ahead and stay away from it.
This powerful blast happened last night at Cape Canaveral in Florida during a ground test. This was a fireball that consumed the New Glenn rocket just before it mushroomed into the sky. Thankfully, Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos says no one was hurt in this. We have CNN aviation correspondent Pete Muntean here with the latest. This was incredible to watch, this blast.
Yeah, and they're calling this
It was incredible. It was incredible. So isn't this supposed to be like a terrible, bad thing, right? That this rocket exploded. But here they are calling it incredible.
anomaly in space terms.
He calls it an anomaly. An incredible anomaly.
Pete Muntean here with the latest. This was incredible to watch, this blast.
Yeah, and they're calling this an anomaly in space terms. Doing a lot of work with that one single term because this is a significant setback. The New Glenn is one of the largest rockets in the world, stands about 30 stories tall, designed to launch some of the biggest and most valuable payloads into orbit. Blue Origin was finally beginning to build momentum in what are called heavy launches, and the company's starting to look like a true competitor to SpaceX until Now, this happened during what's known as a hot fire test. That's when the rocket's engines are ignited on the ground. You can see them there while the vehicle remains at the launch pad. Then the massive explosion. The biggest headline here is that Jeff Bezos, according to a social media post, says everyone involved is safe. It's important to note this was not the first test of the New Glenn rocket. The rocket successfully reached orbit on its first flight in January 2025. Blue Origin then completed additional launches, also successfully recovered some of the boosters, the same reusable rocket technology that helped make SpaceX on the left and right. And we're just now getting new images sort of showing the scope and the daylight from the air of what the damage was like here. And so that's the big question. If this pad is significantly damaged.
All right. So big explosion, right? And 4th of July, right around the corner, right? So they're going with these explosion stories. And then there was a few other stories that had to do with explosions and booms. So it seems like there's a theme, maybe even some pre-programming with these explosion stories. Watch. There's another one that the news ran about sonic booms. And they said that a piece of a meteor went through somebody's roof. One second. Let me pull it up. All right.
Fireballs lighting up the sky. Whoa! Sonic boom. Fireballs lighting up the sky. Whoa! Sonic booms rattling homes. Animals sent scurrying. And one meteorite crashing through a roof. Boom! Boom. The latest came over the weekend. A 5-foot meteor exploding above Massachusetts, with a boom heard across the region.
Here in New England, that's pretty insane.
All right, so the theme is explosions here. And then when you look at what they actually show us, it's really laughable, right? So a lot of grainy footage as per the usual.
Up the sky. Whoa! Sonic.
Right? So this small little white blip in the sky here.
Booms rattling home.
And then they switch to this shot of, I guess, somebody's home footage. And then they just have the camera shaking.
Animals sent scurrying.
And then animals sent scurrying. And then they play a noise sound effect. And then they show like some animals on this back deck running away.
Filling homes. Animals sent scurrying.
These dogs. So they got a couple dogs next to this pool. And then you hear the sound of a boom, and then the dogs run away.
And one meteorite crashing through a roof.
Oh, yeah. It's from a meteorite. I swear they've rerun this story several times. Do you guys remember I did a stream where they said that a piece of the space station went through somebody's roof? I swear they've reran this story at least like 5 times where a piece of space debris punches through somebody's house. And then they pick it up and show it on camera. It's a piece of the space station. I was the lucky winner of the space station roof damage lottery. Right? So they've reran this story about a space debris going through somebody's house so many different times.
Boom! Boom. The latest came over.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely the lady's house that the meteor hit. And that's a detailed description of what it sounded like.
And one meteorite crashing through a roof. Boom!
Boom! Then I heard a boom.
And one meteorite crashing through a roof. Boom!
Boom! Then I heard a boom. Yeah. Boom! Then I heard a boom, lady. Yeah. It was like boom. Then I heard a boom, and it was like boom, and I was like boom, 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 boom. That's what that shit sounded like when it came crashing up through my roof. I heard it and I was like, what was that? And I went in there and it was like, boom. And then it was like, boom. And I was like, what? And it was like, boom. All right. There you go. So that's the theme, you guys. Big booms, explosions.
The latest came over the weekend. A 5-foot meteor exploding above Massachusetts.
Where's the explosion? See, they don't show us the explosion, but they do show us a dog leaving someone's living room. So we get to see a random dog get scared and leave some random person's living room. That's the next best thing. They show us this supposed meteor in the sky, and you're waiting for it to hit, and you're waiting to see an explosion. But then they cut away to some random person's dog leaving the room.
Weekend, a 5-foot meteor exploding above Massachusetts, with a boom heard across the region.
Here in New England, that's pretty insane.
Mike Hankey of the American Meteor Society has been tracking it all.
When we observe daytime fireballs, they're kind of special, okay?
When we observe daytime fireballs, they're kind of special, okay? I'm like a daytime fireball expert, so I kind of know a thing or two about daytime fireballs. And let me tell you, they're kind of special, all right? Okay? All right. All right, one second. It looks like earlier, Big Money Bob sent some gifted memberships, and I accidentally didn't give him a shout out for it. So thank you, Big Money Bob, for your 5 Jake the Awake gift memberships. I see that you sent those earlier in the stream, and I totally missed it earlier. So anyone who got a gifted Jake the Awake membership from Big Money Bob, definitely give him a big money thank you. And also, trout fishing at Hood Park is also gifting Jake the Awake memberships. So you'll either get one from Big Money Bob or trout fishing at Hood Park. And so if you get a gifted membership, make sure to thank one or the other. Thank both of them. Thank both of these guys for giving the gift of Jake the Awake memberships. All right. And if you guys are enjoying the show so far, hook a brother up with a thumbs up. It would be greatly appreciated. All right, guys. So they're running with this theme of explosions. So this possibly could be some pre-programming, or it could be because, 4th of July is coming up. So they're just deciding to script a bunch of explosion stories to remind you to go out and buy fireworks. It might just be as simple as that. Like, all right, let's script a bunch of explosion stories to get the sheep to go out and buy fireworks. We got to remind them 4th of July is right around the corner. And what better way to remind them than by scripting some explosion stories? And then we'll have the fireworks stands start going up here in June. Have the explosion stories, remind people it's time to go buy the fireworks. It might be something as stupid and as simple as that. Selling some fireworks to the sheep. It's a American tradition, And the Mexicans love it too. It's one of those things the Mexicans are totally on board with, fireworks. They love them. In fact, I don't even need to buy fireworks. I can just go walk around the neighborhood, right? And the Mexicans have a bunch of illegal fireworks. So the Mexicans around here where I live, they love fireworks so much that they have ones that are like stadium fireworks that go up in the air and explode, right? The illegal ones, the good ones that like shoot off from like a cannon and go up in the air and explode. So yeah, I get to see stadium quality fireworks just walking around the block, So no shortage of fireworks where I live. So yeah, you got to remind those sheeple that time of year is right around the corner. So Show them a fake rocket exploding on TV, and sure as shit, that'll get them lining up at the fireworks stands, right? What do you guys think? Is this just a cheap way to get people to buy fireworks? Man, I was like, damn, I heard this loud noise. And I was trying to sleep and shit, you know? And it was like, boom. And I was like, what? What the hell was that? And I was like, man, it's like 4th of July out here. You know what I'm saying? And then another one was like, boom. I was like, damn. And I was like, what? Yeah, you know, that's when I heard some ringing in my ear. And that's when I was like, oh, hell no. I got to get my black ass up out of here, you know. So I went and got some cotton balls, you know what I'm saying, and I roll them up and I put them in my ear. But I could still hear those booms outside. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. And it was like, boom. I was like, what? Hell no. Know what I'm saying? Exactly, Ice Cube. All right, there you go. Little Ice Cube impression.
Like people excited. They often have the booms. They have to outshine the sun.
In Ohio, a meteor blazed across the sky in March and a sonic boom followed. That month in Houston, reports poured in of a bright fireball and a loud blast. Later, a homeowner found a meteorite had punched into her house.
That's where it came in at.
Extremely rare, as most meteors burn up in the atmosphere. Along the Jersey Shore in April,
a lot of people have been reporting seeing something streak across the sky.
A daytime meteor drawing hundreds of reports. Loud booms follow. In the Pacific Northwest, a vivid green fireball streaking overhead in late April. And in South Carolina, just last week, a mysterious boom shaking the state and confusing residents. The USGS ruled out earthquakes, and experts say a large meteor is a leading theory.
Is this something that people should have on their minds all the time?
Not at all. Most of them are associated with objects that completely burn up in the atmosphere.
But is there an uptick in these events?
There was a big uptick, a noticeable uptick. It came on quickly and it turned off quickly.
That's right. A rocket exploded. Stories of sonic booms and meteors exploding. It came on quickly. It's almost like these stories were all scripted to come out at the same time to remind people that it's time to go buy some fireworks. Again, that makes the most sense to me. Right? All right, let's have a rocket explode, and then we'll concurrently run this news report about meteors and sonic booms. And then next thing you know, we'll set up the fireworks stand in front of every supermarket in America. And then before you know it, people will be lining up, buying fireworks.
Saying March alone had more than double the average meteor reports, but that spike ended this spring. The latest flurry we've seen, he says, is...
Look, guys, the sonic booms scared these birds. Look at watch the sonic booms scare the birds.
But that spike ended this spring.
See, everything's nice and peaceful. You got all these birds enjoying themselves. Everything's wonderful. And then
latest flurry we've seen, he says, is anomalous.
See? Scared those poor birds away. This is proof that these sonic booms were devastating to the local wildlife. Scared the shit out of them. I ain't seen birds that scared in years. Look, see? There's 100% proof that meteors are causing sonic booms.
Is anomalous as we watch.
Oh, the shit that the news actually shows. Like if you take time to just analyze it and think about it critically. But you know, it's a bunch of really old people who watch the news these days. Like who's actually sitting and watching the mainstream news anymore? It's got to be really old boomers who just aren't paying attention, don't have any critical thinking skills at all, right? They're not going to sit there and be like, can't believe they're showing me some birds flying out of a tree, trying to get me to be scared of a boom. These birds heard a noise. See the birds flying away? Be afraid. Be very afraid. Like the birds. It's ridiculous. 8989 already said the news needs you to be scared and in a panic. Yeah, I think they've determined that if they can keep people in a state of confusion and panic and fear, that people spend more sporadically, buy more useless shit, they can control what people are going to spend their money on more easily. Definitely a concerted effort to push constant fear and panic these days. For sure. All right. Dr. E. Vale says, I was scared too. Were you scared, bruh? Bruh, I was totally scared, bruh. All right. Speaking of being totally scared, do you guys know that there's people out there who, well, some people are predicting that there's possibly going to be an attack on June 11th. And so I typically don't make predictions that there's going to be a major event that happens on a certain date, because I know that they can totally just script it for a different day and then I'll be wrong, right? So I typically don't make predictions to go down on a certain date because I know it can just as easily be a nothing burger. So I'll speculate from time to time that something might go down, but I don't usually pick a date. But there are channels out there and there are people out there that will go as far as to speculate that on a certain date, a certain thing is going to happen. And so tonight I thought I would show you guys a channel called Jurassic Liars, where this guy is predicting that on June 11th, coming up this June 11th, that there's going to be a major attack, and it's going to be like the next major Psyop event. And he thinks there's going to be an attack on Seattle, somewhere in the Seattle area. There's going to be a major attack. And so I thought I would go ahead and let him tell you about it. I'll play one of his videos or one of his streams, and then we'll talk about this prediction, what you guys think about it. So it's something different than what I talk about. And so to change things up, I thought we would listen to what somebody else has to say that's completely different than what I talk about. So I'm sure some of you guys have heard of this fella, Jurassic Liars, and you can tell me all about him here in the comment section while I'm showing some of his live stream. But basically, I'll let him explain his stance. He thinks there's going to be a major attack in Seattle. All right. So we'll hear him out, see what he has to say. This is Garrow from Jurassic Liars, Elvis, Seattle, 611, and Trump. Right? So let's see what he has to say, and then we'll talk about it.
Listen, this is a live stream, and if you're new to the channel, you got to go to the live section of this channel. That's where all my recent videos are. So go to the live section, okay, and watch the last 1 year of my live streams to get caught up with my two predictions, which are June 11th. Washington State is going to just some kind of horrific event is going to happen on June 11th.
So this fella here, old guy here, his name's Garrow, and he calls himself a Christian, and he says there's going to be a horrific event on June 11th. So he's making it out like there's going to be this real attack, and it's not going to be some staged fake shit but like a real actual attack this June 11th.
Okay. And I believe that it's going to be struck. Okay. So we'll see what happens on June 11th. Okay. In Washington State. And it is the biblical beast out of the sea event that you're going to see. And
whoa, it's what?
And it is the biblical beast out of the sea event.
The biblical beast out of the sea event. I says, did this guy predict things before? So last year, he predicted there was going to be an attack in Seattle on 6/11. And I think the year before that, he predicted that there was going to be an attack on Seattle on 6/11. I'm not sure how many years he's been predicting that there's going to be an attack on 6/11. But yeah, basically, he makes this prediction. And then when 6/11 rolls around and nothing happens, he makes the same prediction again the very next year. So yeah, he made this prediction last year and it didn't happen. But he's making the same prediction again this year. So just a little detail to add here that this is not the first time he's made this prediction. But hey, let's hear him out. I'm interested to hear how he came to this conclusion. The biblical beast of the sea. I got to hear more.
That you're going to see. And who is the biblical beast out of the sea? It's Elvis. Okay?
Whoa.
And
the biblical beast out of the sea, who I guess is going to attack Seattle, is fucking Elvis. You know this is going to be some heavy shit. So here's the thing. Everybody, has their own different opinions about subjects and stuff. So I thought tonight we would listen to what somebody else thinks is going on in the world and thinks is going to happen. And then we can use that as like a starting point for a new discussion, And so this is like a topic I've never talked about. I don't really know anything about Elvis being a biblical beast out of the sea. So, hey, this is like a new subject that we can check out, right? And we can take a look at critically together and examine and analyze as a group. All right, got a member here for 11 months, Crimby. Glad to see you tonight, Crimby. And Davey D from the LaFleur Network with a super chat donation says 400 plus deep in this bitch. Smash the thumbs up, share this stream, hit the bell. Shout out to everyone here in the live chat. Much love, peeps. Hey, if you guys are enjoying the stream so far, and I've got a lot more for you, hook a brother up with a thumbs up. It does help. And lately, some of you guys have been watching and not hooking your brother up with a thumbs up. You've been slacking on the thumbs up. So guys, please help your boy out. Hit the thumbs up, and it'll help me get recommended to more viewers. It seems like the streams where all you guys hit the thumbs up, those ones get more views and get recommended to new people. And then the streams where you guys slack and you don't hit the thumbs up, then it seems like hardly anybody watches or comments. So it literally comes down to you guys giving me thumbs up, whether or not I'm going to be happy or not. So please help me be happy by giving me a thumbs up, or else I'll be sad. You don't want me to be sad, do you? You don't want Jake to be a sad boy.
Folks, I'm not kidding. If you don't give me a thumbs up right now, I just might cry. You want to watch me cry right now? You want to watch me puke? I'll do it. I'll cry and puke right now if you don't give me a thumbs up. Boo. 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 Friggin'. Boo.
All right, there you go. That's worth giving me a thumbs up, right? Throwing in an extra Alex Jones crying and puking impression for you. All right. Good times. Thank you, Davey D. I appreciate the long time support, brother. Much love. Fist bumps to you. All right, let's get back to Garo, who's talking about the beast, biblical beast of the sea is none other than Elvis. Tell me more, Garo.
When the biblical beast out of the sea rises out of Washington State, the Bible says that one of the heads of the beast seems to have had a deadly head wound that healed, and the world wondered after that beast who got the head wound and yet lived. And what better beast to get that head wound than Trump? Because Trump is the one who compares himself to Elvis. Because Trump is the Antichrist in the flesh, okay? But Elvis is the real devil, the real Satan, okay? And August 4th.
So Trump's going to get a head wound when the Elvis comes out of the sea as the biblical beast. And then I guess that's going to somehow lead to something horrific happening in Seattle. See, here's my problem whenever I try and follow Garo, and I've tried to watch him a handful of times to see what he's getting at and how he arrived at these conclusions. And every time I sit and watch, I just get a little more and more confused to the point where I'm like, okay, hold on. Let me try and follow along. The biblical beast, Elvis, is going to come walking out of the ocean, and then Donald Trump's going to get a head wound, and then somehow that's going to make something horrible happen in Seattle. Am I hearing this correct? I'm pretty sure that's what he said, right? Okay, I'm going to try and keep an open mind here.
Trump is the one who gets the head wound after the biblical beast out of the sea event on June 11th. So Trump gets the head wound on August 4th. He survives that deadly head wound. And I believe that Elvis is going to enter Trump, just like Satan entered Judas in the...
Whoa. Elvis is going to enter Trump? Did I hear that correctly?
August 4th, he survives that deadly head wound. And I believe that Elvis is going to enter Trump. Just
okay, so now my imagination is running wild. You know, I'm picturing all the different ways that Elvis is going to enter Trump after he gets his head wound. So Elvis is going to come out of the sea, the biblical beast Elvis. And then Trump's going to get his head wound and survive. And then Elvis is going to enter Trump. Am I following? I think that's what he said. I'm trying to follow along with what he said, okay? I'm doing my best to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, you know? Everyone's got different opinions, and I'm just trying to follow along. So Elvis is going to enter Trump, you guys. And then what's going to happen?
It's like Satan entered Judas in the Bible. Because what bigger Judas is there than Trump to the Christians? You understand? Just like Judas was against Christ, Trump is the Judas against the Christians. You understand? Anyway, so you're not going to understand it by watching one video or watching this video. You have to watch a lot of the videos. Go to the live section and watch it, okay? And get caught up. I can't sit here and explain every single detail of why Elvis is the beast side of the sea, okay?
You guys, he doesn't have time to explain all the nuances and details of how Elvis is going to come out of the sea as the biblical beast, and then Trump's going to get his head wound, and then Elvis is going to enter into Trump. All right, if you don't understand, just go back and watch his live streams. Like, fuck. Sucks because I wanted to understand. So I guess I'm going to have to go back and watch his old live streams or something in order to understand. So I'm trying to piece this together. Maybe he can explain it in this stream a little better. I think he's got some cue cards and some numbers to show us here.
Anyway, so, and remember, be patient when you see what I'm about to show you, okay? And make sure you guys thumb up the video. And so when you first see, you're going to be like, what are you talking about? Just keep watching, and that way you'll understand, okay?
So when it comes to Garo, there's a part of me that's like, he's a fucking liar. He's a shill and a liar. And then the more I listen to him, I'm like, you know what? He might not be a liar. He might not be a shill. He might just be fucking crazy. You know, there are those people out there that aren't lying. They aren't a shill. They're just fucking crazy, and they believe that fucking shit that's coming out of their mouth. The shit that I'm having so much trouble understanding and following along. Even when I try my best to piece it together, bit by bit. In his head, it might make perfect sense. So I actually have to consider, perhaps he's just fucking crazy. Right? So I'm willing to accept that maybe this guy is just good old-fashioned fucking crazy lunatic out of his mind. Maybe.
Because I'm laying a ground, the foundation for what I'm showing. Okay. So don't, be too confused. Okay. Because it all come together. So, the insurrection, you know what I'm talking about, that thing that.
This is when he whips out the cue cards and the numbers. And what I like about this guy is like he'll physically show you something up to the camera lens. Like he won't pull up a graphic. He won't show you a website. Instead, he'll like pull out a piece of paper with something written on it, or he'll show you something on his phone. So instead of pulling up a website or pulling up a message, like I do with StreamYard here, he'll like actually whip out his phone and he'll be like, look, see this on my phone right here. So he's definitely got that like, I'm a boomer and don't know how to use this dang-fangled technology thing going on. All right, let's see what he got here with this. Actually, it looks like I got a super chat that just came in. So before I read, before we get into his numbers and cards and whatnot, let me knock out these super chats. All right. Doxological Thinker says, combine his Elvis prediction with fittest flat earther, and now it's Trump being the beast out of the sea. Bro, the whole thing is confusing. So I have heard the theory that Elvis is Trump, right? That Elvis faked his death and then went on to become the Trump character. And that's an interesting theory, but I still am not jumping on board with that. So any combination of Trump being Elvis and whatnot, there's interesting connections there, but I'm not so quick to jump on board with a theory that that Elvis actually became Trump. But I don't completely reject it either, I guess. So yeah, I've heard that theory, but nowadays they're clearly using fake Donald Trumps, AI Trumps and doppelganger Trumps. And we know that they have hyper-realistic masks that they can use. So you don't have to even have a original Trump around. And for all we know, the original Trump may be long gone. And so we have to consider that all we get now are fake Trumps, and that the actual real guy Trump may have been gone for who knows how long. So I don't think that that we're seeing Elvis Presley every time we see Donald Trump. So I'm more inclined to believe that we're seeing fake Donald Trumps on screen every time that I am to believe that we're seeing Elvis Presley, who now plays the role of Donald Trump. So yeah, there is that theory out there. And Fittest Flat Earther, I believe, is one of the people who claims that Trump plays the role of, or Trump was Elvis. But according to Fittest Flat Earther, these people don't use hyper-realistic masks. They don't use disguises. They don't use Hollywood makeup to achieve these differences in their appearance. Instead, he claims that they just shapeshift. So he claims that they're fallen angels and that they shapeshift. So Fittest Flat Earther is a government agent, a disinformation agent who muddies the water of truth when it comes to celebrities playing multiple roles and the use of hyper-realistic masks. And what he does is he claims that it's fallen angels who are shape-shifting, and that they don't need masks They don't need AI. They don't need CGI. And so he'll claim somebody like Prince just shapeshifts into David Blaine, or somebody like Macaulay Culkin shapeshifts into Kid Rock and then shapeshifts into Joe Burrow. So yeah, fittest flat earther, most definitely a disinformation agent. And the reason he's there pushing the fallen angel shape-shifting bullshit is to get people to dismiss all talk about hyper-realistic masks and actors playing multiple roles. And instead, they want you to discredit yourself by talking about ridiculous fallen angel shape-shifting talk. So they get you to talk about these ridiculous notions that will instantly discredit you and make you look like a moron and a stark raving crazy person if you go around talking about fallen angels and shapeshifters. Thank you, Doxological Thinker, for the super chat donation. I appreciate that, buddy. RY says Elmo thinks Jurassic Liars is full of shit.
Elmo knows that nothing's going to happen on June 11th. In fact, Elmo has planned a trip to Seattle, and Elmo's gonna be there so that he can laugh right in the face of Jurassic Wild, because Garo thinks that on 6/11 something terrible's gonna happen in Seattle, but he gets it wrong every year. So this year, Elmo is going to be in Seattle, and Elmo's going to be laughing in Jurassic Wild's face when nothing happens. And nothing's going to happen next year, and nothing's going to happen ever, because Jurassic Wild is nothing but a freaking wild. And that's the bottom line, because Elmo said so.
All right. There you go. Elmo going off on Jurassic Liars. Rex James with a very generous super chat said, Jake, what's cracking? Could I get some more cowbell? I'm sitting out by my campfire. I could use some. All right. You want a little cowbell? Where the hell did I put it? Oh, here it is. All right, right now, Rex James, he's got a fever. And the only thing that can cure Rex James' fever is more cowbell. All right, there you go. All right. There you go. What a better way to hook a brother up on his campfire trip with a round of cowbelling, right? Some of the best damn cowbelling I've played in a long time. In fact, that might have been my best ever cowbell session ever. So there you go. You are welcome. All right. Now, we lost some viewers by me banging on the cowbell for that long, but I think it was worth it. Anybody who ditches the stream after me banging on the cowbell right there, screw you. Who needs you? I think it was worth it. And thank you, Rex James, for giving me such an awesome idea. All right. Now let's get back to Garo making his prediction that Seattle's going to get attacked. He's got these cards that he wrote these numbers on. So let's try and pay close attention to these numbers because I'm sure this is all important.
Happen in Washington, D.C., but we're talking about Washington State is going to be struck on June 11th. But this stupid event that involved Trump, on this date, insurrection day, and this video is not even about the insurrection, so don't worry about it. I was just it's the numbers that you're seeing is what's important. So and by the way, June 11th is the 162nd day of the year, and August 4th is the 216th day of the year. So you have those same numbers in those numbers right there, and that's the day it happened, this insurrection. Now, why am I showing this? You'll see. This, like I said, has nothing to do with the insurrection, this video. So anyway, you know the words, the crown?
Guys, the crown, it equals 106.
Equals 106.
Oh, so you guys, let me get this straight. If you've been following along, just in case anyone's confused, on June 11th, this guy thinks that Elvis, the biblical beast, is going to come out of the sea and Trump is going to get his head wound. And then Elvis is going to enter into Trump. And one of the reasons why he thinks this is because the crown equals 106. Are you following along? Oh, okay.
Okay. And interestingly, the words "they live," you know that movie, "They Live," actually equals exactly the same as the crown. Okay. But anyway, why am I showing the 106? Okay. And again, it's not even about this either. You'll see. Just keep watching. You know, Elvis is born in the 1st month and Trump is born in the 6th month and everything in between. That's what that always when you see a 0 or an O.
Oh, guys, the crown equals 106. Elvis was born in the 1st month. Trump is born in the 6th month. And then the crown portal is everything between. 106, 1st month, 6th month, crown portal. It all makes sense now. So that's why Elvis is going to come out of the beast of the biblical seed. Trump's going to get his head wound and Seattle's going to get attacked. Oh, okay. I think it makes sense now.
It's the crowning portal. Okay. It's everything in between, basically. That's what it means. Okay. It means through 1 through 6. Okay. It's like going through a.
Oh, yes. And then, of course, IPS, Infinite Plane Society channel. He's going to Seattle to report from ground zero. So he thinks that something is going to happen, and he thinks that it's worth going there and being there to report on whatever's going to happen. So apparently, Tim Osman, whatever his real name is, I don't know, believes that something's going to happen. So I guess it's not just Garo, but I guess there's other people out there that do think that something's going to happen on June 11th. So I'm going to go ahead and predict right here, right now, nothing happens. Yes. I, Jake the Awake, predict right here, right now, that on June 11th, we get a big nothing burger. That's right. Nothing major happens. And the reason I think this is because this guy, Garo here, he did this same shit last year and predicted that this was going to happen last year, and it didn't. And I think he even predicted it the year before. I'm pretty sure he's been predicting this for multiple years. And so I think what will most likely happen is nothing, and then he'll make the same prediction next year. So I predict nothing happens, and then Garo, Jurassic Liars, will make the same prediction again next year and the year after that. And he'll continue making that same prediction every year until he dies. That's my prediction. And you know what? If the biblical beast Elvis comes out of the sea and enters into Trump and there's a horrific attack on Seattle, I'm willing to admit I'm wrong if that happens on June 11th. So I'll totally, gladly admit I was wrong and admit my prediction was totally wrong. So I'm predicting nothing will happen. But if something happens, and it happens to be Trump getting a head wound because of the Elvis biblical beast coming out of the sea, and Seattle gets attacked and all that. So if that does happen, I'm totally willing to admit I was wrong and give props to Jurassic Liars, right? But I'm going to go officially right now. Put me down for nothing happening. That's my official prediction, is we're going to get a big nothing burger on June 11th. What do you guys think? Oh, also this guy, Garo, apparently if you don't agree with him during his live streams, like if you question him in the chat or you disagree with him, he's one of those guys that will get pissed off and ban you, and then he'll tell you that you're going to hell. So this guy, Garo, he's a Christian. This fella here, well, he claims he's a Christian. Look, see? Why would he have this in the background, right? So he talks about the Bible a lot. So he claims that this is going to happen in Seattle. And if you question him or you disagree, then he'll tell you that you're going to go to hell. So if you disagree with anything that Garo has to say, he literally will tell you that you're going to go to hell. So you're not allowed to disagree with anything that he says. So he's allowed to make this prediction and get it wrong, and then make the same prediction next year, year after, right? So if he gets this one wrong, he'll just make the same prediction for next June 11th, right? And if you have any problem with that, he'll ban you and say that you're going to go to hell. So, just showing, everyone's got a different stance, a different opinion, a different way of running their channel. I don't make these sort of predictions, and I don't tell people that they're going to burn in hell if they don't agree with everything I say. But, some channels do that, and apparently this is one of those guys that does that. Cat I Am Spellbreaker says one of the women he was dating contacted me, and she told me how he was abusing her. Well, Cat, now that is hearsay. So I don't know for sure whether he abused women or not, but I wouldn't be shocked if he did. I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't appear to be the type who would abuse a woman, but I can't sit here and say for sure he did. But maybe he did. I don't know. But just judging off of the stuff that he's saying about why he thinks there's going to be an attack, yeah, his story is literally impossible to follow along, right? Even if you try to give him the benefit of the doubt, his story about the biblical beast, Elvis, entering into Trump, and Trump getting his head wound, and it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense or tie into Seattle or how or why there's going to be an attack. So whenever I've tried to give this guy the time to make a point, whenever I've actually sat and tried to watch him, I just end up getting more and more confused. So I thought I would show him to you guys, because I'm sure some of you guys have heard of him. And then those of you who've never heard of this guy, I thought, I'll show him to you guys. You can tell me what you think. See if you guys can make sense of what he's talking about. Because apparently there's other people out there making these predictions that something bad's going to go down on 6/11. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why Seattle as well. Maybe he'll make that point. You know what? Maybe if we go to one of his other streams, he'll make that point. Maybe he just couldn't quite spit it out in this stream. Oh, look, he's live right now. So he's probably watching me while I'm talking about him right now. Look, see? He's live right now. World Cup beast.
Impersonator. Beast out of the sea and Elvis. Okay, that the biblical beast out of the sea event is about to occur on June 11th in Washington State. Okay, now they're just talking about the World Cup, everyone, you know, because they're thinking that something might happen, which is what I've been predicting, like I said, for all these years. But they're not warning you to get out of Washington State, because that's where the biblical beast out of the sea event is going to happen. Okay, and they're going to destroy a part of Washington State on June 11th. Okay.
So he thinks there's going to be a real attack in Washington State. So if we look at a lot of the different psychological operations, they're completely staged from top to bottom. Nobody actually dies. Nobody really cries. So I would argue the majority of their staged psyops, usually there are no casualties. Nobody actually dies, right? So what he's saying is there's actually going to be like a horrific attack. So he thinks there's actually going to be real bloodshed, according to what he's saying.
And who is the biblical beast out of the sea? It's Elvis. Okay, yes, Elvis. He is the biblical beast out of the sea. He is Satan. He was the Pied Piper in heaven.
He's the biblical beast out of the sea. He is Satan. Okay, so now Satan is going to come out of the ocean in Seattle. Trump's going to get his head wound, and then Satan / biblical beast of the sea, Elvis, is going to enter into Trump. Am I getting this right? So how does this tie into Seattle and the World Cup? Maybe he'll explain that next.
And he was the Pied Piper on earth, okay? Everything that's happened, the Pearl Harbor, the Twin Towers, and then this next one on June 11th in Washington State is all for Elvis, who is the biblical beast out of the sea. And in the Bible, it says that the biblical beast out of the sea, one of the heads of the beast, seems to have had a deadly head wound that healed, and the world wondered after the beast. Who is that beast that gets the head wound that people wonders after? It's Trump. Trump is going to get the head wound on August 4th.
Trump's going to get his head wound on August 4th. Yeah, but what about all the time between 6/11 and August 4th? So on 6/11 is when Elvis is going to come out of the sea. And then we got to wait all the way until August for Trump to get his head wound. And then that's when Elvis / Satan is going to enter into Trump. I'm kind of confused on the order. So there's going to be an attack on Seattle on 6/11, but there won't be a head wound until August. So we got to wait for a while. It's kind of confusing.
Okay, most likely in Ohio, but for sure August 4th, Trump gets the head wound and he survives his deadly head wound. Okay, I'm not going to get into that part.
But see, Trump already supposedly got shot in his ear and survived. So does that technically count as him getting his head wound already? Couldn't you technically say that Trump surviving getting shot in his ear in that staged event, wouldn't that technically count as him surviving his head? Or does that one not count? I guess it's going to be a different head wound. Okay. I'm trying to follow along. He doesn't make it easy, does he? All right. Got a super chat from Holy Taco Sauce, which is a really cool name. Holy Taco Sauce with a very generous super chat says, I just laughed so hard after you said that about gladly admitting you're wrong if Elvis enters into Trump and etc. Laughed my ass off. Thanks for the laughs. No, seriously. I know that this guy is probably live on his channel watching me watch him talk about him right now. And he's all pissed off. And I'm sure he's going to be all grumpy. And he's going to probably think that, I'm going to burn in hell for this. Maybe he's right. So check it out. I'm willing to admit that if I'm wrong, that I will gladly apologize live to Gero. I will apologize for not believing that that Elvis Satan is going to come out of the ocean and Trump's going to get a head wound and and it's going to enter into Elvis, Satan, Trump, Seattle attack. Yeah, if I'm wrong, I will gladly admit that I'm wrong, and I will publicly apologize to Gero. And on top of it all, I will gladly burn in hell. I will. According to people like Gero, I'm for sure going to burn in hell already for even questioning him at all, right? So looks like one way or the other, I have a future, an eternity of brimstone and hellfire to look forward to, regardless of what happens in Seattle. So whether Seattle does or does not get blown up, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hell for all of eternity. But I'm not there yet, so my hellfire in eternity hasn't started yet. So while I'm here right now, still enjoying being alive here in this flesh bag suit while I'm talking to you guys, woo! Feels good. Feels good to still be alive, right? All right. Thank you, Holy Taco Sauce, for the very generous super chat. I appreciate that. And RY, with also a generous super chat, said, if there is time at the end of the show, can you please attempt to improvise an Elvis biblical Beast of the Sea song and play bass along with it? All right, now we're getting into me trying to improvise a song and sing and play bass at the same time. Woo, that's gonna be tough. That could devolve into into something ridiculously embarrassing real fast. So perhaps I could maybe pull off something. I don't know. I'll have to try and sit here and think of something. So perhaps the motivation and the right words will come to me. The right lyrics will come to me if I can sit here and listen to Gero just a little longer. So yeah, we'll see what I can make happen, buddy. But I appreciate the super generous super chat. Improvise an Elvis biblical Beast of the Sea song. Holy shit. Talk about something I've never practiced before. Improvising Elvis on my bass. All right. Ah, shit. Maybe if I just try and get it out of the way right here, right now, I can make it happen.
Well, hey, little baby, look at me. I'm rising like the beast, straight from the sea. I'll be hanging out in Seattle, and that's where I'll be. The biblical beast of the sea. The biblical beast of the sea. Well, a honka, baby, biblical beast of the sea. Well, they call me the king, king of the sea. I'm rising up, and you'll see me, oh baby, the biblical beast of the sea. Well, a honky, baby, you know it's me. All right. All right. Now, again, I've never taken time to practice improvising any Elvis, so I figured the longer I wait, the harder it would be. So I had to just go ahead and get it out of the way and make it happen. Hopefully that suffices. All right.
But this video is mainly about June 11th, the connection with biblical beast out of the sea and Elvis, okay? So June 11th, Washington State is the biblical beast out of the sea. Then get out of Washington State, okay? Now, the World Cup is showing you a lot of predictive programming with Elvis, okay? They've and by the way, they've done this for a few years with soccer and stuff like that with Elvis. But look at this. First of all, look at this. First thing that you see on this video, okay? It says everything can happen, okay? They're just basically telling you to be prepared for what's coming, okay? On this June 11th. That's the day the World Cup starts, right?
So because they use the slogan, everything can happen, and the beast coming out of the sea on June 11th and entering into Trump and him getting his head wound, Elvis, Satan, all that jazz. Yeah, that's something that could theoretically happen. So therefore, if that's something that could happen, and those words on his phone screen say everything can happen, therefore, you know, this is guaranteed proof that this is all going to go down in Seattle, because those words on his phone says everything can happen. So, so there you go. Expect it, June 11th.
Look. Okay, now watch. So they're telling you, watch, they're going to say the word miracles, okay? And they're talking about USA, and then what plays? Watch. Then they start playing Elvis. Okay, now let me tell you why I'm stopping it all the time is because I don't want to get a copyright. Okay, so that's why I have to keep stopping and going.
So he doesn't know how to pull up a video in his live stream, so he like shoves his phone up to the he shoves his phone up to the camera lens.
They're starting to play Elvis.
The impossible dream to find the
Okay, so you hear the Elvis song, right? Singing the impossible dream. All right, because let me tell you something. What we're going to see on June 11th is, like I said, and what's going to come out of it in the sense of, you know, what is going to, you know, because it leads to the mark of the beast.
Oh, it leads to the mark of the beast. So Elvis is going to come out of the sea, and he's going to be the biblical beast, and he's going to enter into Trump. Trump's going to get his head wound, and then that's going to lead to the mark of the beast. And that's because that World Soccer ad used an Elvis song. So that's how you know that that's verified, that that's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen this June 11th, he'll just make all this same prediction for June 11th in 2027, right? So he made this prediction last year, and it didn't happen. So what are the chances if it doesn't happen this year? What are the chances he's not going to make this prediction for next year? So again, this guy's going to continue making this prediction every June 11th. So what I'm going to do is predict that nothing happens on this June 11th.
All right, these events on June 11th and August 4th, connecting with Elvis and Trump. And remember, Trump compares himself to Elvis all the time, all these years. He's been predicting, he's been comparing himself to Elvis. Okay, I've shown that so many times. Okay, now, later in this video, okay, I can't show you the whole video, right? So,
all right, so I haven't been following him for that long, but I do remember that last year he made this prediction, and I'm pretty sure he's made it in years prior. So Ronald Johnson says he's been wrong 10 straight years. What's the definition of insanity? It looked like he was live on his channel. He's probably watching me watch him right now.
Forwarding it now.
I'll have to try and sit here and listen to improvise.
Yeah, he's sitting here watching me watch him. Hi, Garo. Hi, Garo. You guys, Garo is live streaming while watching my live stream. Isn't that funny? This is the most attention he's probably ever had. Right? And you got people probably in Garo's chat like, that Jake's a fucking asshole. I wish he was there in Seattle. Too bad Jake's not in Seattle. Right? So, yeah, he's live streaming us right now while we're live streaming him.
Coming out of the sea theoretically happened. So 11. Look. They're talking about USA, and then what they're playing Elvis. Okay, now let me tell you why I'm stopping it all the time. So he like, they're starting to play Elvis, the Elvis song, right? So,
look, it says he's watching you now. Like, at what point if we just stand here and stare at each other, at what point is one of us gonna fucking give in?
You know what is going to in this prediction? Every June 11th events on June 11th and August 4th, connected with comparing himself to Elvis. Okay, I've shown that so many times. This prediction. It looked like he was live on his channel. He lies. Yeah, he's sitting here. Isn't that funny? This is the most attention he's probably ever. I wish he was there. Yeah, he's live streaming us. So, look.
They're watching you.
They're talking about USA. And then what they're playing, Elvis, watching you now.
Yeah,
like
that's funny.
You know, comparing himself to Elvis. That's so
All right. That's weird. That's weird that, like, I'm live streaming and he's live streaming and he's live streaming my live stream and I'm live streaming his live stream. Like, we're both live streaming each other's live stream. And he was just catching up to this point where he realizes that I was watching his live stream. Never know what's going to happen here on YouTube. Weird, huh? Hey, I tried to give him his chance to explain it. It's not my fault. I don't understand. Right? Did I not give him more than ample enough time to explain his position? So as it stands, he thinks there's going to be a major attack in Seattle because Elvis is the biblical beast of the sea. And the biblical beast is going to return on June 11th in Seattle. Trump's going to get his head wound, survive. And then the biblical beast of the sea, Elvis, who's also Satan, is going to enter in to Donald Trump. His words. It's what he said verbatim, right? I'm not trying to twist up his words. I'm not trying to make it out like he said something he didn't say. That's what he said. At least I'm pretty sure that's what he said. So when I try and make sense of what he's saying, I just can't do it. So I've tried on multiple occasions to figure out why and how this guy comes to his conclusion that Seattle's going to get attacked. And I just get more confused every time. And then when he whips out the cue cards and the numbers, then it starts to turn into like a Zach Hubbard sort of thing, right? It's like, then he'll be like, oh, well, this word equals this number, and this number ties back to this, and this number ties back to this. And then once he starts talking about all these different numbers, then he's essentially doing like what Zach Hubbard does, right? So yeah, there you go. Something might happen on June 11th in Seattle. I personally predict that nothing is going to happen. So we'll see. One of us will be right. One of us will be wrong. Except the difference is if he's wrong, he'll just make the same prediction next year. So he's going to make the same prediction until he dies. So according to him, he can't be wrong because it's going to happen one of these June 11th. Imagine it happens 20 years after he dies. Imagine they pull some big attack on Seattle in like the year 2095, and Garrow's long dead and nobody remembers him and nobody who watched him is alive anymore either. And then they do it. See, then he won't get credit for it. See, Garrow, so here's the thing. The world stage script writers, they could totally just stall the attack on Seattle until after you're dead, and then you won't even get credit for it. They could just wait until long after Garrow dies, because let's be honest, Garrow doesn't look like he's going to live that much longer. So they can just push back the Psyop date for June 11th, 2080. Garrow will be long dead. All of the people who watched and followed him will have forgotten, and they'll be dead too. So then he won't get any credit for being right. See? Elaine DeGagny said, yeah, he's a demon. Big Money Bob is finding this to be funny. Official Northern Champ laughing his ass off. Kelly Yamaguchi says, oh yeah, he won't, especially his size right now. Kat says he's not as old as he looks. Well, he looks old and unhealthy. That's all I'm going to say. Not trying to be mean, but he totally looks like he's old and unhealthy, and he totally looks like he's not going to make it to the year 2080. Right? So if I was to guess whether he's going to make it to 2080, I would guess that he doesn't. So all I'm saying is, the world stage script writers, they can plan this shit decades in advance. So they can easily, if anyone starts predicting what's going to happen and getting it right, they can just push back the script date and just execute that same exact psyop 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when Garrow's long gone and everyone's forgot about it. And then then it won't matter that he got it right. Nobody will be around to know that he got it right. So for Garrow's sake, let's hope that Seattle gets attacked. I actually hope that I'm wrong. I hope that there's a horrible attack. I can't bring myself to do it. Nah, fuck it. Let's do it. I hope that there is a horrible attack on Seattle on June 11th so that I can admit that I'm wrong and give props to Garrow. Garrow, if you're watching, and I know you probably are, I hope you're right. I hope there's a horrible attack on Seattle and that a shitload of people die. And then I'll do a live stream and I'll be like, whoa, Garrow was fucking right. And I was wrong. Shit. Sorry about that, everyone. And I sincerely hope that happens. All right. For Garrow's sake, I hope he's right. Now, if I'm right that nothing's going to happen and nobody's going to die, well, he's probably not going to apologize to me. So I guess this is a one-way street. So Garrow, just want you to know, I'm most likely going to be right. And on June 11th, nothing's going to happen. And I know you're not going to apologize to me. And I know that you think that I'm going to burn in hell for eternity for even saying what I'm saying now. But just want you to know, Garrow, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you to be right, bro. I'm praying deep down inside that Garrow's right and that I'm wrong. All right. I'm just kidding. I actually don't hope that I'm wrong. But I don't think I got to worry about it. All right. I don't think I got to worry too much. Looks like I got some super chat love coming in. And you guys are the most awesome audience in the world. Have I told you lately that you guys are the greatest audience ever assembled here on YouTube? Big Money Bob gifting out Jake the Awake memberships. So Big Money Bob, trout fishing at Hood Park, they hooked up, gifted Jake the Awake memberships. They're doing the Lord's work. You know, Santa Claus isn't real, but what is real is Big Money Bob and trout fishing at Hood Park gifting away Jake the Awake memberships. So if you get one, make sure to thank these guys. All right. And Nate X, the original X, says, yes, very fucking meta indeed. Hope you're talking about Gero and not me. Nicholas Giannakakos says, Gero is nuts. Too funny, brother. You should go back live or call him. Oh, no, I was going to move on to Asmongold. Asmongold, right? So I thought I'd spend a little bit of the stream talking about Gero's prediction. And so we did that. So now I think it's about time we move along to a different topic, right? So we got a Gero, who's essentially a small YouTuber that not that many people have heard of, not very popular. So now we can move on and talk about somebody who essentially everyone on the internet has heard of, Asmongold, right? He's shoved down our throats. YouTube likes to recommend him, whether you have ever watched his content or not. They like to shove him, at least in my home feed, right? And so it's almost impossible to avoid a guy like Asmongold. So the other day I saw a video where it looked like Asmongold was promoting Alex Jones. So I clicked on it, and sure enough, that's exactly what he was doing. So I watched a few minutes. Sure enough, Asmongold was recently promoting Alex Jones. So I hadn't watched one of his videos in a while, and so I watched a few minutes, and I thought, you know what? I think I should show this to my audience and publicly roast him a bit. And Rex James says, Jake, did you talk to Ralphie about June 11th? What is his thoughts? Well, he's laying down right now, but let me wake him up and ask him real quick. Ralph. All right, Ralph. So I know you were sleeping and you didn't hear the news, Ralph, but basically on June 11th, Seattle is probably going to get attacked. There's going to be something horrific that happens in Washington State. And apparently the biblical beast of the sea is going to come out of the ocean, and it's going to be Elvis, who's also Satan. And when Elvis Satan comes out of the sea, Trump is going to get his head wound, and then Elvis is going to enter into Trump. So that's all going to go down. So Rex James here wants to know, Ralphie, what your thoughts are. What do you think about all this, Ralph? Good boy. Yeah, that's about the most we're going to get out of Ralph. He's a quiet beagle for the most part. He only talks when I'm not live, right? That's when he won't shut up. All right. All right, Gero. So you're off the hook now. I'm going to move on to the next subject. So I'm sure Giro's going to continue on his live stream, probably talking about this for the rest of the stream. But I'm moving on to the next subject. All right. So Asmongold gets millions of views on like every video. And on this video, he essentially is going to kiss Alex Jones' ass. And he's going to get over 2 million views for making a pro Alex Jones video.
And saying Alex Jones conspiracy theories that have turned out to be true. Is this okay? All right.
Alex Jones has been trying to warn all of us for decades. He's accused powerful people of hiding their evil acts in plain sight.
Yeah.
Now I have to get the shit Bohemian Grove information out.
And then he was also right about Bohemian Grove.
He warned us about the elite pedo rings.
He was the guy who told me about.
He even brought up Jeffrey Epstein.
So right out of the gate, within the first few seconds, he's reacting to a video that's glorifying Alex Jones. Oh, he told us the truth about the Epstein files. He told us the truth about Bohemian Grove. Okay, first off, Bohemian Grove. Oh, you mean that supposed satanic ritual that Alex Jones snuck into? So the story goes, Alex Jones sneaks into this ritual and films the whole thing and then uploads it for all of us to see, right? Shows it to all of us and exposes the secret satanic ritual at the Bohemian Grove. And then he exposes the Epstein pedo ring, right? So right out of the gate, the fake Bohemian Grove shit, right? That's some conspiracy theory bait, right? You never saw me reporting on that fake bullshit. Another thing you never saw me reporting on was the fake Epstein bullshit. So the difference between a real truth channel and a truth channel that's pushing disinformation, the disinformation channels will report on the Epstein shit as if it's real, as if these elitists and celebrities on Epstein's island were doing these deplorable and terrible things to innocent women and children, and it's the most terrible thing. And it just so happens these crimes were logged into these files and then aired for all of us to see on TV. So anyone falling for that or talking about the Epstein shit, that's a clear indicator that they are a disinformation agent or a useful idiot. So there's no record of me pushing the Epstein shit at all. In fact, I've been saying for years that all of the Epstein shit is made up. He's a made up character on the world stage. So glorifying Alex Jones and saying that he brought us the truth about Epstein. No, what he did was he brought us more disinformation. He helped push and promote the disinformation about Epstein. In fact, that was Alex's job all along, was to push and promote disinformation and muddy the waters of truth. And here you have Asmongold using his using his channel to promote Alex Jones.
Epstein's island more than a decade ago.
Clinton took multiple trips to Epstein's private island where he kept young women as slaves.
They fly famous rich scientists and politicians and they compromise them with underage girls.
Police infiltrating protests to turn them violent.
Alex Jones had a great video called 9/11 The Road to Tyranny. It was the first time I really understood that agent provocateurs are a government strategy.
He even warned us about Bill Gates.
And I've seen Bill Gates say, we've got to get this down to 0. And he puts his clicker and puts an image of a human up there.
Most people dismissed him. A lot of what he said was absurd.
Gay people, I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
But
all right, so Kelly says I missed a super chat. I'm looking on my end and I can't figure out which one it is. Can you tell me who it's from, Kelly, or anybody? If you know which super chat I missed, can you tell me who it is? And then I'll see if I can find it. On my end, I don't see it. Okay, so this video that he's showing, he titled this video, "He Tried to Warn Us, ... And then the video itself is obviously a pro Alex Jones video, painting him out like he's this highly controversial man of truth, right? So it's a video that glorifies Alex Jones, and then he's just reacting to this video. And then the title, "He Tried to Warn Us." And then you look, 77,000 thumbs up, 2.3 million views. So in 2026, we're to believe a pro Alex Jones video is getting this many thumbs up and this many views. I'm having a hard time buying that, because Alex Jones' popularity in 2026, I would argue, is lower than ever. So the Alex Jones character in most recent videos, you can see him crashing out. And there's a lot of mainstream YouTube channels who are always roasting Alex Jones for his most recent crash outs. So I would argue that the Alex Jones character has been humiliating himself for the last couple years, especially the last 6 months. So for the last 6 months, almost every time Alex Jones is brought up, it's because he's crashing out, humiliating himself. So for Asmongold to make this pro Alex Jones reaction video here and get this many thumbs up, this many views, yeah, I'm going to have to call bullshit. There ain't no way you're getting that much engagement on a pro Alex Jones video in 2026. No fucking way.
The more prominent he became, the more these warnings took their psychological toll, sending him spiraling deep into alcoholism, which pushed him to even more erratic behavior.
I think that unleashed him. I think the alcohol might have unlocked his potential.
Behavior that would one day destroy him completely, almost like it was done by design, by the very people he warned us of. Because over time, piece by piece, parts of what he'd been saying started to surface.
I did take those plane trips with him.
But by that point, it had already cost him his entire life and reputation.
It is not going to work that you are going to...
made obsolete by our own creation.
You see, Alex Jones wasn't always such a mess. He wasn't this alcoholic Adderall addict, saying whatever he can to get clicks. In fact, in 1995, Jones was just a local Texas news reporter, and he was
awesome. Yes.
All right, so apparently someone sent a request on PayPal. I'll try and check my email for it right now. All right. So he's showing the this video, which is showing a bunch of old Alex Jones pictures and clips. So like this one right here, you can see like how thin he used to be. And Alex Jones' voice back when he looked like this, he didn't have a scratchy voice at all. So Alex Jones actually used to have a fairly regular voice, and there wasn't that scratchiness that you associate with it now. So this character that he's showing on screen is long gone. Whoever this guy was who used to play the role of Alex Jones is not the same guy anymore. So you definitely get to see the changing face of Alex Jones over the decade, and the changing voice as well.
1995, Jones was just a local Texas news reporter, and he was
awesome. Yes, Alex Jones. Like, I think he grew up, like he was in Austin. My mom would watch Alex Jones on public access television.
Pretty handsome and eccentric, although still grounded and tuned into reality. He liked a bit, but not too much, and he was proud of being in good shape.
I do drink some alcohol, though, and I probably should quit doing that because it makes me fat when I drink 2 or 3 beers before I go to bed.
His driving force back then were his worries about expanding government power.
Okay, I don't care about Republican Democrat. I care about getting my taxes cut. I care about getting government.
All right, so I got a PayPal donation that came in from CGB, and he has a message attached that he wants me to do an impression of Asmongold with the weird eyebrow movements, saying how NASA and Alex Jones is super genuine and legit. All right, so got this request going out to CGB. I mean, this is freaking crazy. Like, seriously, what the fuck? Guys, people can say what they want about Alex Jones, but one thing you can't say, he's never been wrong. He's literally been right about, like, everything he's ever said. I mean, the reason why he's crashing out is because he got sued for over $1 billion. That's how you know that the guy's not lying. He's willing to continue doing this job, even though he owes all that money. I mean, you guys saw they took InfoWars away. That's how you know he's totally legit. You can say what you want about Alex Jones, but one thing you can't say, he's definitely not a liar. Have you guys seen this? I mean, this is pretty freaking crazy. I mean, seriously, WTF the fuck?
His biggest claims to fame back then was when George Bush had him dragged out of a press conference for challenging him while being governor of Texas.
About this.
Sir, shouldn't we abolish the Federal Reserve?
I forgot how awesome this guy truly was. I mean, you guys, he's been doing this for so long. I remember when my mom used to watch Alex Jones. I was a little baby in the crib, and I could clearly remember my mom watching Alex Jones while I was a little baby. I was a little baby, literally freaking sucking on my bottle. And I totally remember laying in my crib listening to Alex Jones. You guys, this guy's seriously a freaking legend.
And the CFR.
And he was convinced that governments everywhere by nature are controlled by a shadowy group of elites. But back then, it was the Council of Foreign Relations he mistrusted most.
And now it's
real reality that none of you will talk about, most of you are members.
Through history, governments have always been dangerous. You know, a certain elite controls everybody. Until we realize that Republicans and Democrats are the same people at the top, two sides of the same coin, puppet A and puppet B, we are not going to effectively change this until we are honest about who we're up against.
Back then, Jones had no idea who he would one day become. The US presidential candidates would invoke his name on the campaign trail, and he had no idea how this success would eat away his sanity and his entire life, driving him so deep into alcohol abuse that he just became unrecognizable. And that
I have to tell you guys a secret. I was walking to my podcast, and this is the one that we filmed with Ice. And I met a guy that was just totally randomly. He was a guy that worked at InfoWars, and he works with Alex Jones. We exchanged contact information. This happened a week ago. We had a very interesting conversation.
You guys, so this is pretty freaking crazy. So I randomly bumped into a guy who works at InfoWars, and we exchanged contact information. Pretty crazy, huh? That's how you guys know, like, I'm freaking legit. He just happened to bump into some guy who worked with InfoWars, and they exchanged info. You know, this guy who's always here in his house reacting to everything online every day, all day. Yeah, he just somehow bumped into some dude and got the contact info from somebody who worked at InfoWars. And he's going to tell us about that while he's sitting here glorifying Alex Jones. Can you guys imagine what it would be like to roll out of bed in the morning and make a video kissing the ass of Alex Jones and you get 2 million views? Imagine you get to print money. You get to print as much money as you want, and all you got to do is just roll out of bed and just give these mundane, boring ass reactions to whatever you want. Doesn't matter what it is. Just roll out of bed. Say, have you guys seen this? Seriously, what the fuck? I can't believe this. Have you guys seen this? And then just show whatever it is. And then be like, I seriously can't fucking believe this. Oh my God. This is crazy. That's all you get. Just make that reaction to any and everything, and you just get to print as much money as you want. You just wake up in the morning and be like, I want 2 million views today. Oh, I know. I'll just smooch Alex Jones' ass for a little while. Yeah. That's a quick, easy 2 million views. So what are the chances this is real 2 million people who are watching this and enjoying this? 77,000 people hit the thumbs up. Now let's check out the comments. 16,000 comments. Yeah, I'm sure all of these are totally real people who are not bots. They called him a lot of things, but never wrong. First comment, you guys. They called him a lot of things, but never wrong. The second comment. 1.5 billion penalty is insane. Such bullshit. Not even a pharmaceutical company has paid that much for killing thousands or addicting millions. So you got somebody going along with the story that he owes over $1 billion and that it's such bullshit. 2 steps ahead, you're a genius. 10 steps ahead, you're insane. The only way they could silence him was by publicly villainizing him and stealing all of his money. The way this guy was treated for telling the truth. Of all the words of mice and men, the saddest are Alex Jones was right. The frogs really were turning gay. 10,000 thumbs up for this. The frogs really were turning gay. 10,000 thumbs up on this comment. The judgment against Jones wasn't designed to take Jones out. It was designed to send a message to all of those who come after him. Oh yeah, 4,500 thumbs up. The Alex was right nickel jar is surprisingly full. Oh yeah. Yeah, those are definitely not bot comments. Yeah. That's 2 million real views. And all those were most definitely real comments about Alex Jones. Yeah. So apparently in 2026, there's that many people who still like Alex Jones and will publicly defend him. Meanwhile, all the videos of Alex Jones in 2026 are of him embarrassing himself and crashing out. It's like every single Alex Jones video is a humiliation ritual for the last 6 months. But they want us to believe that that motherfucker can just kiss Alex Jones' ass and get 2 million views. And every comment is like, I love Alex Jones. I drink Alex Jones' jizz on a daily basis because he's such a genius and was never wrong about anything. Oh, yes, I'm going to thumbs up that comment 4,000 times. Okay, sure. So yeah, Asmongold channel. Yeah, I'm not buying the whole 2 million views in the comment section full of people kissing Alex Jones' ass. In 2026, just not buying it. Nate X, the original X, says, meta remark about you and Jew watching your streams. Meta remark about you and Jew watching your streams. I'm not sure what you want me to do. So thank you, Nate X, Original X, for your comment, but I'm not sure what you want me to do with this statement or this super chat. I'm kind of confused. New Tartarians says, hello, Sir Jake. I am late to the stream this time and just wanted to throw you a layup super chat. Sadly, Asmongold is lowering the world's intelligence. You're the real thing, waking people up. Much respect. So the sad thing is, I know that some of my audience watches him and is subscribed to him. Maybe not a lot, but like if I have 90,000 subs, I know there's going to be like a handful of people who are subscribed to him and keep up with his shit, right? And so it seems like no matter who I call out and no matter how much of a fucking shill they are, there's always somebody who will come along and defend them. So I've called out Asmongold before for giving these lame reactions and not offering up anything of substance. Like, you're not going to learn anything new. You're not going to gain any new insight from Asmongold. And I've pointed it out before. I'm like, why is this guy getting so many views? It doesn't make sense. I've asked the question, like, how come he's so famous here on YouTube? And so I've actually had a few people insult me in the comment section, like, Asmongold used to play video games, stupid. Asmongold used to play World of Warcraft, dumbass. That's why he's so popular, okay? Right? So there's been people who've shown up and stuck up for him and said that he's so famous because of him playing video games a long time ago. And I'm stupid for not knowing that. So apparently a long time ago, he played video games and got famous. So I guess because he is video game famous from a long time ago, it carries over to today. And it carries over so much so that he can wake up in the morning, smooch Alex Jones' ass for like 50 minutes and get 2 million views. I can only imagine what it would be like to just roll out of bed and give like such lame, mundane, boring ass reactions and know for a fact I'm going to get millions of views on everything. Just whatever it is. Have you guys seen this? Ebola. Ebola's back. Oh my God. Have you guys seen this? Trump said this today. Have you guys seen this? Pam Bondi. Oh, have you guys seen this? There's riots going on in Paris. So it just, whatever the story is, he can just be like, oh my God, have you guys seen this? This is fucking crazy. Right? Do the eyebrow thing. So there's always some event that's happening every day, right? There's always some scripted news for him to say, oh my God, have you guys seen this? So that's his job, essentially, is to be the reactor to the regular run-of-the-mill news for the normies. And then they shove him all over this platform for all the normies to see. So he gives you the basic normie reaction to everything. So if you don't watch the nightly news, maybe they can get you to watch the nightly news reaction through watching Asmongold react to the nightly news. Like, oh, okay, so we'll get a bunch of these neckbeard mouth breathers fucking video game playing tard muffins to pay attention to what's going on the world stage by listening to Asmongold. Because we know that these video game playing mouth breathers, these fat neckbeards who live in their mom's basement, they're not going to go watch the news on their own. But if we can get them to watch Asmongold watch the news, then we can go ahead and brainwash them with the daily news events through Asmongold's reactions. So I think that's Asmongold's job, is to give the daily news reaction to the sheeple. And then YouTube promotes that shit, right? Because that's all it is. It's just him making 5-6 videos a day reacting to whatever the trending news topics are. Saying, have you guys seen this? seriously, like, what the actual flying fuck you guys, this is crazy. And then he just pulls up whatever trending news clip it is, and then he just plays it. And then he does the eyebrow thing, and his typical, his same reaction he does every day. And apparently this is so popular and people love it so much, they tune in and watch every day by the millions. You know, I struggle sometimes to think of what to talk about next. You know, it's been over a week since I've posted a video because I'm not sure what to talk about next. So sometimes I go through a creative slump, and then I look at a channel like Asmongold, and it's like he just wakes up in the morning and just does those same reaction videos 5 times a day, gets millions of views on every fucking video. Like, it must be nice to get promoted on every single thing you do and have a fucking bot farm there to agree with everything you say. So not only are you going to get the huge view counts, you get the bot farm that's going to just agree with whatever subject you're talking about. It's similar to what they have going on with Simon Dan, except way bigger view counts and way more comments, right? So like that video about Alex Jones, they make it out like 16,000 people are slobbing on the knob of Alex Jones in the year 2026. Not buying it. True Metal Jake said, thanks, Jake, for the great content. As always, Jake. True Metal Jake, I appreciate your super chat, and I appreciate the kind words. So anybody still here watching, enjoying this content, hook a brother up with a thumbs up. It would be greatly appreciated. It only takes a second to hit the thumbs up, and it actually does send the signal to the algorithm that you enjoy this content and that they should promote it to everybody. So please help a brother out if you're enjoying the stream tonight, and hit the thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed as well, of course. Evan with a donation says, I see more and more Jakes every day. Script theory is spreading. Only we know it's not theory. Jake the Awake is OG. So you might see more and more people talking about it, but you aren't seeing more and more channels like this one. This is still the only comedy truth podcast of its kind. And so there isn't anyone out there doing a show quite like mine. And so it seems like more people are waking up to the fact that the news is scripted and fake, but they still haven't quite figured out that everything is always scripted and fake. So some people are waking up that some news stories are fake, that some news stories they're lying about, but they still haven't quite figured out that all the celebrities and actors are playing a role on the world stage, and that it ties into not just the news, but also into politics, also into sports, and mostly every major worldly event. Every event that we hear about on a daily basis is scripted ahead of time, oftentimes years in advance. So people are waking up to the fact that the news is scripted, but they aren't putting all the pieces together as far as the world stage as a whole is concerned. Like I still see people falling for Trump being a guy and being the president. So there's still people who think that Trump makes a decision to go to war with Iran, or Trump is serving Israel, and that Trump is making all these terrible decisions, causing the gas price to go up. So there's still people who are still falling for Trump being a guy. And so they haven't figured out yet that like Trump is a character on the world stage. And right now, the most popular character on the world stage is the Trump character. So it behooves the controllers of this place to have multiple people who can play the role of Trump on screen, and have AI play the role of Trump on screen. So I would like to see more people wake up to the fact that the politicians and world leaders are being played by AI, and that they're using hyper-realistic masks and disguises even and whatnot. So I would like that part to become more known and talked about. But sadly, right now, I'm one of the few channels taking it that far. So, as one of the OGs, you're still going to get more detailed truth here than you will from these posers and wannabes trying to be the next Awake. If there is anybody out there trying to be the next Jake the Awake. All right. So thank you, Evan. I appreciate the super chat, buddy. And I appreciate all the super chat love that's come in tonight. Like usual, you guys have been off the hook showing your appreciation with the super chat donations. And we had a solid crowd tonight, over 400 people watching and still over 400 people watching. So I appreciate you guys hanging out on another Wake 'em Up Wednesday. And I got a little more for you. So last week we covered the Robert Ward mask story, and it turns out that Asmongold also reacted to the Robert Harward mask story, and so I thought, since I talked about that the last 2 weeks, that we would get Asmongold's reaction and see what somebody like him has to say, whether he thinks it's a mask or what he thinks. So what do you guys think Asmongold is going to say? Do you guys think that he's going to agree that it's a mask? Or do you guys think he's going to take the mainstream stance that it's a shadow? So if you guys were to guess, what do you think Asmongold is going to say about the Robert Harward mask?
There has been a very, very, very big controversy going on. Let me explain it. They think this guy is wearing a mask. If you look at this frame right here, you can see that it looks like there's a mask over his face, and his actual face is being obscured. So you can see this right here. This is the line. I think it's very obvious. I don't even need to draw it. So why do people think this? And this is the audio here. Let's watch it right here. Here we go.
Okay. So you guys are predicting that he's going to say it's a shadow. Gee, I wonder why you guys would think that he's going to go ahead and claim it's a shadow, which is the mainstream narrative and the government accepted, government approved excuse that they trained all the normies to parrot. Gee, what makes you guys think that that's what he's going to say? I wonder if it's because he's a total fucking shill who parrots the mainstream narrative in every single video every day. I wonder if that might be the reason why.
The Iranian people, but the world global economy, which they're holding all hostage to, the more everybody comes to realize this is all about the IRGC. At the end of the day, we're going to have to need a government in Iran that not only hands over the nuclear material, stops threatening the Straits of Hormuz, but quits exporting the Islamic Revolution throughout the region, causing the collapse of Lebanon, Gaza, Yemen, Syria, and as well.
So, is this a mask? I think the probability of this being a mask is about 1%.
So he's 99% sure it's not a mask. And I've told you my final conclusion is that it's AI/CGI, but it's made to look like a mask on purpose. So at first I thought it was a mask, and then I changed my mind. I think it's AI or CGI that's been prompted to look like a hyper-realistic mask, and it was 100% done on purpose. But according to Asmongold, that's not the case.
I think it's 1%. It's literally a shadow? Yes, it is. It's 1%. The probability of it being 99%? Come the fuck on. Okay. All right. Is it harsh lighting? It's for sure a mask. Why do you think that they got the ears and the mouth and the eyes perfect, but they didn't get the bottom of the mask right? Like, I mean, this is flawless. I mean, the mouth is perfect. The eyes are perfect. The ears are perfect.
I don't think that it looks perfect at all. It looks completely not human, right? This was made to be noticed. I've never seen anyone look like this on TV before. And there was one instance where Joe Biden also had something weird going on with his neck, but it didn't look this bad. So this is basically like the most noticeable example of all time of what looks like somebody wearing a mask.
But they couldn't figure this part out. Look up the CIA masks. It's not going to be that close. The Joe Biden mask, people are so retarded. Oh my God.
The Joe Biden mask, people are so retarded. Oh my God. So now he's referring to people who think that Joe Biden wore a mask are retarded. See how that works? So as we all know, Joe Biden was a fake president, essentially, and it looked like they had multiple people play the role of Joe Biden. And they even had AI Joe Bidens on screen addressing the nation as well. So they could have used several different actors playing the role of Joe Biden. And so here he is making the claim that the Joe Biden mask is retarded.
Look up the CIA masks. It's not going to be that close. The Joe Biden mask, people are so retarded. Oh my God. The Goyim have gone insane. They have. It's obvious they've gone insane. Everybody screenshot it and ask Grok. Okay. All right.
The Goyim have gone insane. Just screenshot it and ask AI. Yeah, that's how you can get to the bottom of whether it's a mask or just a shadow. You just ask AI. And then you have to totally trust whatever AI says as the truth.
Save as PNG. Mask or not. All right, we're going to find out. No, it's okay. We're going to do this. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Okay. Is this a mask or a camera effect?
And then I see the super chat that came in from Nathaniel Arias. Let me finish up this clip real quick, and then I'll knock out your super chat, buddy.
Okay. And where do the image be? There it do be. All right. It's a real person. Okay. So Grok says it's a real person. Let's do.
So Grok says it's a real person. So therefore, you should believe it's a real person.
Do some peer review. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I get Gemini, and we're going to see what they say.
So they use Asmongold here to train the sheeple, train the normies, the mouth breathers, the neckbeards, to just trust what Grok says. If you see what looks like a mask line on somebody's neck, and it's like the most noticeable mask-looking face you've ever seen, just go ask Grok. And Grok says it's just camera lighting and that it's a regular person. Well, there you go. That's all the answer that you need. It's all the verification that you need. Just ask Grok. So they have Asmongold training the normies to refer to AI if you ever have a problem or a question about anything.
Okay.
Don't trust your intuition. Don't trust your senses, right? Nah, just trust what Grok says.
Give me 1 second. To make sure I get it lined up. Alrighty. Is this a mask? Okay, we're going to open up, upload a file, and let's go ahead and do this one again. Or camera effects. Thinking level standard, extended. Extended problem thinking. Is of aggressive digital camera effects and video processing rather than a physical mask. The uncanny appearance you're seeing is a common byproduct of video content that has been heavily processed by software. Hence, here is why it looks this way. So both of the AIs that I've consulted say that it's bullshit. It means that it's bullshit. It's so floppy, though. There's clearly just a shadow. Chat GPT will tell you the truth. Well, I don't know about that. So a digital mask, yes, retard. So the fact that this is so popular, the mask, right? I think that you guys don't understand. It's so fucking obvious the guy on Fox News is wearing a mask. I wonder if a 3-star general Navy SEAL did to have them disappear and put in a sloppy body double on Fox News who
very astute in leveraging that time. And so I don't see it as
it's a shadow. It
really
is.
There he goes. So I had the timestamp here. It's 7 minutes and 30 seconds is when he states it's a shadow, clearly.
And so I don't see it as
it's a shadow. It is.
So there you go. You guys guessed correctly. If you said that he was going to say it's a shadow, that's what he said. So Asmongold refers to AI, concludes it's just a shadow. So the Robert Harward neckline, which I think is it's done with AI or CGI, and it's done on purpose to look like a mask. And it was done on purpose so that people would notice it, so that they can serve up the excuse that it's just a shadow. And then they have this shill right here confirming the mainstream excuse that it's just a shadow. Training the sheeple at home that if they ever hear about a hyper-realistic mask, to just assume it's a shadow. So that was the whole reason I think that they wheeled out this character, Robert Harward, and made it obvious that it looked like he's wearing a mask, so that they can train the sheeple at home that if they hear about a hyper-realistic mask or the notion that someone on TV is wearing a mask, just assume it's a shadow. And then they have mainstream personalities and mainstream YouTubers like Asmongold here to reinforce this training by saying it's for sure a shadow. So there you go. Asmongold gets millions of views. And then when you look at his content, he's promoting Alex Jones and saying that Robert Harward's neckline was just a shadow. So that's how you get millions of views. You got to push the mainstream narrative. Yep. Train the sheeple to ask AI and accept whatever AI says as the truth. And then write off the notion of Joe Biden wearing a mask as being retarded. See? So it's not retarded to assume that that's just a shadow. That's like the most easy explainable excuse, the Occam razor excuse, right? The easiest excuse, the most easiest explanation. That has to be the one that's right. So shadow is the easiest. So they purposely have like the most noticeable looking neckline ever on this Robert Harward character so that they can serve up the most basic excuse ever. It's just a shadow. So now any and all talk about hyper-realistic masks can be quickly disposed of. Just another shadow. We've seen this before. All right, now I can catch up on the super chat from Nathaniel Arias. He says, it's been a minute since commenting on a live video. Had some good changes happen, so been busy. I appreciate the community you've built on this channel and all the great hard work you do each video. Thank you, Nathaniel Arias, brother, for the kind words and the super chat donation. Glad to see you here tonight. And fist bumps to you, sir. You've been a long-time supporter of the channel, and you've sent several super chats over the years. So glad you could make it here tonight. And thank you for this super chat here and now, sir. And got a super chat with no message attached from official Northern Champ. I appreciate all the super chat donations that come in, even the ones that don't have a message attached. So I appreciate all of the donations, no matter how big or small, or whether or not they have a message for me to read or not. So all super chats are welcome and appreciated. Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning, who's been a member for 11 months, according to this, says, Jake, I'm back. Been having female problems. Man, I've been single for so long, I forgot what it was like to have female problems. That's one of the positives about being a single loner, right? So one of the positives about me hanging out in this office, trying to think of content and doing these streams and stuff, is that I'm never hanging around women, and so I never have any female problems because I'm such a loner, right? So the good news about being a loner is there are no females around to cause problems. So luckily, I haven't had any problems. So the worst I have to deal with is the fact that I'm a lonely loner with no females around to cause me any issues. But I do remember many years ago what it was like to have females cause me issues and whatnot. So it may have been a long time, but it has happened to me in the past. So I'm sorry to hear that, brother, and hopefully you can get through it. Hopefully I can make you laugh and smile here tonight in this live stream. And if you missed the replay from earlier, I did several different impressions and whatnot earlier, so perhaps tonight I can make you laugh and take your mind off of your female problems. All right, Nathaniel with another super chat donation said, Jesus, people seriously trust him and AI, dumbasses. So I don't think that Asmongold gets that big of view counts naturally. So I think his view count is highly inflated. And I think a lot of the comments are bot comments. So in 2026, Alex Jones, most of the videos that you see about him are roasting him, making fun of him because he's crashing out, right? So the last 6 months especially, he's been just humiliating himself over and over and over again. You know, he lost InfoWars and he cries and complains about that. And then he went on Tim Pool and he was all like drunk, or he was pretending to be drunk. And then before that, he was crashing out and bitching about Candace Owens. And before that, he was just bitching and moaning about Trump. So I would argue that the Alex Jones character's popularity in 2026 has got to be the lowest that it's been in several decades. So I don't think for a second you can kiss Alex Jones' ass and get 2 million views and that many comments supporting him, right? All the top comments were just kissing Alex Jones' ass like he's one of the most beloved individuals in the truth community. Not buying it. Davey D from the LaFleur Network says, Timothy McVeigh is the fruitiest flat earther Tyler Hansen. hit us with that chin music. So you're not the first person to say that. I can't say for sure whether or not Tyler Hansen is Tim McVeigh. Hold on, let me pull up a picture. Oh. So yeah, there is some similarities between Fittest Flat Earther and Timothy McVeigh. Right? You might argue he's got the big chin. The Timothy McVeigh character. It's got the big, gigantic chin. And as we know, Fittest Flat Earther has a big, gigantic chin. Let me pull up Fittest Flat Earther. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they reused the Timothy McVeigh character and that he plays a dual role and is now playing the Fittest Flat Earther. Well, let me pull up a Fittest Flat Earther video. He said like a week ago or 2 weeks ago that Macaulay Culkin is Joe Burrow and Kid Rock. All right. So keep this image in your head of Timothy McVeigh, and then imagine that a grown-up version, an older version of Timothy McVeigh is now Fittest Flat Earther, Tyler Hansen.
Something so interesting. Well, that's Macaulay Culkin, aka Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, and that's Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, Macaulay Culkin. Joe Burrow, Macaulay Culkin.
Yes, guys, Fittest Flat Earther is literally claiming that Joe Burrow is Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, little Macaulay Culkin. He shapeshifts into Joe Burrow and plays quarterback. Oh, but get this. He's also Kid Rock. Yep. Fallen angels, shapeshifters.
Burrow's girlfriend, Macaulay Culkin's ex-wife.
Yep. Same girlfriend, same ex-wife. Proof. Macaulay Culkin is Joe Burrow, is Kid Rock.
Macaulay Culkin, Joe Burrow. And well, I've shown how wives are similar across characters, but you want to see something new, a new one, an interesting one? Let me first show you Elvis's mother. She look like anyone to you at all? Does she look exactly like Macaulay and Kid Rock?
Yeah, Macaulay, Kid Rock. Now, I will admit that they do kind of look like each other in that picture, right? But Macaulay being Joe Burrow and Kid Rock, woo, man, that's a whole lot of shape-shifting going on. You would think between those three guys that one entity trying to be all of them, that'd be too much work for one entity to play all three roles of those guys.
Macaulay and Joe and Kid and Harry Houdini.
And Harry Houdini. So Macaulay Culkin is Joe Burrow, who is Kid Rock, who also is Harry Houdini. I mean, you can't make this shit up. He's literally saying that in this video, right? So just when you think it can't get any more retarded, this fool cannot say anything more stupid than what he's already said. Nah, he can, and he does. He says something more stupid and foolish in almost every video. It's like he's trying to outdo himself every time. And as you can clearly see, Macaulay Culkin is Joe Burrow, and he also looks an awful lot like Kid Rock, so much so that you could say that he's a shapeshifter and a fallen angel. Must be a pretty busy life to have to be Kevin McAllister and at the same time baw with the baw and then throw a touchdown against division rival Ravens. Must be a pretty busy life for this sneaky shapeshifter. All right. So there you go. Fruitiest flat earther, who might be Timothy McVeigh. I'm not going to say that fruitiest flat earther is for sure Timothy McVeigh, but I'm not going to say that he's not. So maybe he is. True Metal Jake says, Jake, does your beagle howl every time a police car or fire truck goes by with its siren on? I had one that lived 17 years, used to do that every time. No, not so much. No, the only time he'll bark is if somebody unexpectedly like bangs on the door, or if I like bang on my desk like with my leg or something and startle him, then sometimes he'll bark. Like maybe right now, if I bang on my desk, I can get him to bark. Nope. He's just staring at me while I bang on my desk. So I've accidentally with my knee banged into my desk and he thought someone was at the door and he was like, "Rrrr!" So the only way to get him to do his big howl is if he gets startled. And so he's pretty quiet, and that's actually the way I prefer it. I prefer a more quiet dog. And my situation does not, it doesn't bode well to have a loud dog constantly barking when I'm renting an office here, you know. So I prefer him not howling and not barking. But there has been a few occasions where like somebody knocked on the door and he's like, because it woke him up. So yes, he does do the big howl, but it's kind of rare, and I'm glad. Luckily, Ralphie is similar to my last dog, Rusty, who was also pretty quiet and didn't bark that much. And thank you for the donation, True Metal Jake. Lint Away air duct cleaning, best damn air duct cleaning service this side of the Mississippi. And no, he didn't pay me to say that. Or did he? All right. And he says, Jake, can we please get an Asmongold reaction to my third most recent short? You'll really love it. All right. Now I got to go to your page and pull up the lint cleaning stuff. I've pulled up a few of your videos before showing some of the lint being cleaned off of the filters or whatever. And you get tons of views on some of your lint videos. So, all right, let me see what I can do here. All right. So I'm going to Lint Away's channel, go into his short section, go into his most popular short. Now I'm going to react to this dryer vent full of lint being cleaned. So you guys, this is Lint Away's channel, and he actually has videos of himself cleaning lint away from vents. And some of these vents have been clogged up with lint for like 20, 30 years. And so he cleans like such gigantic amounts of lint away that it warrants him videotaping it. And I guess the footage is so impressive that he gets all these huge view counts on these videos where he's cleaning up lint, which I find to be quite amusing that this many people are watching videos about cleaning lint. Look at this, 28 million, 12 million, 11 million views. this? Holy shit! That's like the most lint I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit! Oh my god! They like literally must have never cleaned that lint before. You guys, that lint's probably been there for like since before I was born. This is crazy. I'm actually starting to wonder if I've got that much lint building up in my lint traps. Since I've lived here, I've never had anyone come clean up my lint. You guys, I'm seriously freaking out right now, wondering if there's this much lint stuck in my house. I'm going to have to call Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning to get rid of this lint, you guys. This is freaking crazy. I mean, can you believe this? Okay, that is literally the biggest lint log I've ever seen. I've never seen a lint log that big before, you guys. That lint log, no, I'm not joking, you guys. That lint log is bigger than my actual penis. This is seriously the biggest freaking lint log I've ever seen. I'm seriously freaking out right now. All right. So there's Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning, some of his most popular videos. Can you guys believe how many views this fool gets? Damn. I think I said this last time. I was like, man, I'm in the wrong business. I should have started making videos about cleaning up lint. Look at all the views this guy gets. Hot damn. 28 million views. Oh my God. This guy got more views than I've gotten ever in the history of my channel. And he got it with one short cleaning up some lint out of a vent. 28 million views. That's more than I've got on every video ever combined. This guy outdoes me with one lint video.
Cost of dryer vent cleaning, $175. Cost of not having it clean, everything. Cost of dryer vent cleaning, $175. Cost of not having it clean, everything.
There you go, guys. That's how you make a video that gets seen by 28 million people.
Cost of dryer vent cleaning.
Cost of dryer vent cleaning. And then you show yourself cleaning the vent. And then you give the price.
$175. Cost of not having it clean.
And then show a picture of a house on fire with some This Girl Is on Fire as your background tune. Voila. 28 million views. There you go. Air duct cleaning. Hopefully that brings you a bunch of new customers. Also, Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning, he said that I can come work for his company if it doesn't, if YouTubing doesn't work out for me, right? If I can't survive as a professional YouTuber, he said I can come work for his lint cleaning company. So that's good to know. I have a fallback plan. If this YouTubing thing doesn't work out for me, my fallback plan, I'm going to go clean vents, right? Because obviously there's no shortage of dirty vents. All these people out there letting the lint build up for all these years, and seems like you can clean it up pretty easily. And, you know, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty, do a little grunt work. So, you know, if shit goes south here on YouTube, you know, let's say they were to get rid of me tomorrow, well, then I'll just call up my boy at Lint Away Duct Cleaning, and I'll start learning my new career, exciting new career, cleaning lint off of vents. All right. That's cool, huh? All right. Sweaty Sack 9103. It's a cool name, bro. Sweaty Sack says, have you heard of Satan's Little Season conspiracy? I have, but I don't know what it is. So here's the thing. I've heard people talk about it in the comments section, but I actually haven't heard of what it is. So if somebody can explain what it is, I'll pull it up and read it right here in the stream. I'm not a religious guy. I'm not an atheist, but I'm also not religious. And so I don't really push anything as far as, like, you know, what the Bible says, or what Satan, what they say about Satan in the Bible, or this or that. So I don't know exactly what the Satan's Little Season conspiracy pertains to. But what I can tell you is several years ago, like when I started the channel, no one really ever mentioned it. So it's like I only started hearing about this Satan's Little Season in like the last year or so. So it wasn't something that I ever heard talked about back when I first started or over the years. So it's like I've only heard about this for like the last year. So one of you guys would know more about it than I do. Elaine DeGagny says, yes, we're all living in it right now. We're being shown it all. Old Fox says he's making boss moves in the final season. Messiah says it's only for Europeans. Well, apparently there's a bunch of like Middle Easterners taking over Europe. So is it the Middle Easterners in Europe or the actual Europeans? Rumford says, in the Bible, it says Satan comes back after a long time in prison, and it's possible we are in that time period. So it's Satan's Little Season is when he or it is supposed to return or come back. Truth Hurts says Satan's Little Season is biblical. Yeah, see, that's why I don't really know about it. I'm not a guy that like thumps the Bible or any religion. So I'm more of like a anti-religion guy. I feel like men created the religions to control other men's mind. So I'm not quick to jump on board with any religion. At the same time, I'm not an atheist, and so I believe that the earth is created. So I do believe this place is divinely created. I just don't know by who or by what or exactly why. And I don't trust any of the religions that explain it. And I don't trust any of the religious books that go along with the religions. And I've noticed that people who are totally into religions, they tend to have this mindset that you have to agree with them and their religion and everything they say. Otherwise, they'll claim you're going to burn in hell forever, right? So, you know, when it comes to these biblical prophecies and whatnot, you know, you got guys like Garrow, for instance, from Jurassic Liars, who'll claim that, you know, Elvis, the biblical beast of the sea, is going to come out of the ocean and Trump's going to get his head wound, and Elvis, the biblical beast of the sea, is also Satan and is going to enter into Trump. And so I'm just sitting here as a regular guy like, I don't know. Doesn't quite make sense to me. So I'm not going to say for sure that that's not going to happen or for sure that that's not true. I'm just saying I can't personally make sense of it. It doesn't seem to add up to me. So when it comes to stuff that is said to be biblical, well, apparently Elvis being Satan and coming out of the water and Trump getting his head wound is also biblical, according to Christians like Garrow. And if you question a guy like him, he'll tell you that you're going to burn in hell. So when it comes to questioning Christians, I'm always a bit hesitant because I know that they're probably going to tell me that I'm going to burn in hell for not already agreeing with what they're saying. So I tend to just keep my beliefs to myself. And my beliefs are that I don't know what this place is or what's happening for sure. I'm still trying to figure it out. So I don't know if we're in Satan's little season or not. Lintaway Air Duct Cleaning says, Jake, third most recent, not most viewed. It'll be worth it. I made it with you in mind. Oh, okay. I showed the wrong vent cleaning video, apparently, you guys. I was showing his most popular vent cleaning video, and it was supposed to be his most recent one, or third most recent, right? So it's third most recent would be this one right here.
Oh yeah, nice.
Like a mushroom. It does kind of look like a mushroom. You know, pulling these big wads of lint out of somebody's like roof here, you know, I could see how like you could charge somebody some good money here and not bust your ass too hard. I'm kind of digging it, you know. I'm the type of guy that if I'm going to do work, you know, I want to make a good amount of money and I don't want to bust my ass too hard to where it like wrecks my body. I feel like I could go up on somebody's roof, pull out a wad of lint, and that could be a job that I could do, and that I wouldn't bother me too much, right? So you know what? If it doesn't work out for me as a professional YouTuber, I might just enter into a career of lint cleaning. Doesn't look like too bad of a job.
Oh yeah. Nice.
There you go, guys. Lint away air duct cleaning. Best damn air duct cleaning this side of the Mississippi. No, he didn't pay me to say that. Or did he? Seriously, though, this guy, you can tell this is a top-notch lint cleaning company right here. All jokes aside, you can tell this guy's legit. All right? These guys are clearing out some serious lint. So anybody in the chat who wants to hook up on some lint cleaning, I think he said he's in the in Arizona, right? Aren't you based out of like Arizona, like Phoenix or something? He says they wear respirators for really linty jobs. Yeah, anytime you get on somebody's roof, that's going to cost some money, right? And I'm sure on a hot day, if it's like over 100 degrees and you're up there on someone's roof in the hot sun, that it sucks. So I would reckon that super hot weather would make that job suck a lot more. True Metal Jake says, Jake, I'll train you in HVAC. Pays way better, less dirty. Well, you know, I might have to eventually figure out something because, you know, if I just take it one day at a time and do this, you know, I make enough to get by. But if I sit and think about my future and I think like, am I going to be doing this in 10 years? Am I going to be able to do this in 15 years? Will YouTube even be around in 15 years? And there's no, you know, there's no medical plan, no dental plan, no retirement or anything like that. You know, right now I'm doing this job and I don't make a lot of money, but I enjoy doing this. But like I said, if I sit and think about it and I think about my future, then I start to kind of freak out like, oh, fuck. Should I like go get like a real person's job because one day I am going to be old? And if I keep doing this, I'm going to be totally screwed. Right. So it's in the back of my mind that one day I might have to go get a grown-up job again. And it's scary. Like, no, I don't want to have to go get a grown-up job. But, you know, if I was to have to return to working some sort of blue-collar job, something where I can just do the work with my hands and just not have to deal with the public too much, right? Just something easy I can do with my hands, right? So HVAC or cleaning up some lint, just let my hands do the work and I can just daydream and just get the work done while I'm thinking about something else. I just don't want to have to deal with like pissed off customers, right? So one thing I have heard about like HVAC is that if you show up to install like a air conditioning, that they're happy to see you, and that once you get it installed, they're happy that you've got it installed, and they'll thank you. So I have heard that the industry, that people can be pretty thankful, that they're like glad that you're showing up to install the air conditioning. So they're happy to see you. And then once it's installed, they're happy that it's done. So I have heard that it's actually not too bad of a job, the HVAC stuff, and that it pays pretty good as well. So I wouldn't be totally opposed to doing some work like that. LaFleur says that's what I do, roofing. Lintaway Duck Cleaning says Jake the HVAC tech. Well, the problem I'm going to have is I'm basically going to be unhireable to most companies. So I'm kind of going to need to have a friend hook me up, you know, so somebody who watches my channel can hook me up with a job rather than me like try and like apply at some company. Imagine me, I'm like going to be in my 50s and trying to apply for a job, and on my application for the last 20 some odd years, I'll be like, yeah, I was on YouTube. I was on YouTube talking about the earth being flat and talking about sports being fake. And then now that that's over with, yeah, now I need a regular person's job. Not for now, guys. I'm gonna keep it up. I'm gonna keep trying to do this job and hang in there for a while longer. But at some point or another, you know, I'm gonna end up getting old, and you know, I can't count on YouTube to be here forever and employ me forever. So at some point, I might have to make a career change, and it's kind of scary to think about. Like, holy shit, I haven't had a regular job in so long. Will I even be able to be hireable anymore? Jabrowski says the NFL will hire me. Oh yeah, they'll hire me as a hot dog vendor, right? A seasonal hot dog vendor with the NFL. Jake the Awake, he used to make content about how fake the NFL is. And then when his YouTube career ended, then he went to work selling hot dogs for the San Francisco 49ers. RY says, Jake, thanks again for doing Elvis Biblical Beast of the Sea on bass tonight. Oh, well, thank you for the song request. That was my first time ever improvising an Elvis song on the bass. All right. Well, guys, I've been on here for over 3 hours. I'm starting to get a little tired and a little hungry. And I think my dog wants to go out for a walk as well. So I think I'm going to start to wrap it up here. Let me make sure I got caught up on all the super chats. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. All the regulars, Big Money Bob. Thank you for hanging out tonight and gifting the Jake the Awake memberships. That reminds me, I need to make some members-only content. I haven't made any in weeks, probably a month or whatever. So I need to come up with something that I can post for you guys soon for the members-only, like a new Fittest Flat Earther parody or something. So I'll try and figure out something for the members only. I'll try and get some new content up soon. And hey, any ideas you guys have for my next video? I'm looking to upload a video about something, and I need some ideas. So any ideas for video content, I'm all ears. So throw out your video content ideas for me in the comment section, because the last video I made about Robert Harward wearing a mask, you know, that video did pretty well. And then for the last couple of weeks, I've been in a bit of a creative slump trying to figure out what to talk about next. So I go through these phases sometimes where I'm not sure what to talk about next, what to make my next video about. And I'm at that point right now where I need to upload a video, and I'm not exactly sure what to talk about next. And so football season doesn't roll around till September. So, you know, trying to figure out topics to talk about all summer long can get kind of tricky, especially when the the scripted news is boring. So right now, all the scripted news stories are kind of boring. So I'm looking for ideas for content for long form videos. So hook your boy up with any ideas you might have for anything you might want to see me talk about in an upcoming video. LaFleur says more fake Major League Baseball. Well, the problem with making another baseball video is that the last one didn't do that great. So the football videos get guaranteed views, but the other sports aren't as popular as football. So if I make a video about Major League Baseball or the NBA, it doesn't get as many views. And so I have made a video about baseball being rigged, and I've made a couple videos about basketball being scripted as well, but they just don't get the same amount of views as the football stuff. And so I'm worried that if I made another baseball video that it just wouldn't do that good. So I want to make videos, but I don't want the videos to tank, right? So I have to think of something that's going to be interesting enough that people will click and want to watch. So trying to come up with new ideas over and over and over and over and over and over and over can get tricky. So it might seem easy to make videos. The tricky part is that after you've made a successful video, to follow it up with another video and then another video and another video, and then you find yourself in a situation where you're not sure what to talk about, and you don't want to make a video that's not going to get that many views. But at the same time, you don't, you need to come up with something, right? So it's been a while since I put out a video, so I feel like I'm up against it. Like I need to put out something, but I don't just want to crap out a video about just some random shit. So it's like I want it to be a meaningful subject. So coming up with meaningful subjects and content can be tough. So that's what I got to do tomorrow, is sit around and think of what video to make next. Lintaway says bottled water is a scam. Review bottled water. I feel like if I make a video about bottled water, that it'll only get like 5,000 or 6,000 views, and it's just like I don't know, it sounds boring, right? Like it sounds like a boring video for me to make, and then I feel like nobody's really going to want to click that. So one of the problems I have whenever I'm coming up with ideas for my next video is I'll talk myself out of ideas because I feel like, oh, that'll probably not do good, right? So I want to come up with a video idea, but it has to be something that people are going to click, that has the potential to do well, right? So I'm not all about just chasing views specifically, but I'm not trying to cover subjects that are going to tank or have a high likelihood of getting a low view count, right? So something like bottled water, it just sounds boring, right? So oftentimes I'll talk myself out of making a video because it sounds like a boring video or sounds like something that's not going to be that fun to make, and not that many people will click on it. So trying to figure out what is going to be entertaining, what's going to get people to click, it's always the problem, because I've talked about so many things. Like I've talked about so many subjects that now I'm kind of to the point where it's like, do I go back to the well and talk about stuff I've already talked about before? Or do I try talking about something new? And if I am, then what? So it's always, having to come up with something new is the biggest problem with this job, especially if you do it for years and years like I have. You got to keep coming up with the motivation and the ideas to keep coming up with something interesting and delivering time and time and time and time again. So it can be tricky. There's days I'll wake up like, okay, I want to make a video, but I don't know for sure about what. So I'll sit there scratching my head, looking around on YouTube, trying to think of what video to make next. And then I look at all these other channels and I'll see all the other crap that they're putting out. And I'm like, I don't want to put out a crappy video like these other channels. I want to put out a cool video. And then after like 4 or 5 days roll by and I'm still stuck wondering what video to make, then I start to get desperate. Like, fuck. All right, now it's been almost a week since I put out a video. I need to hurry up and figure out something. So it can be stressful if you haven't come up with the next video to know that like, oh shit, I got to put out a video soon and it's got to be good. So I'm kind of at that point right now where I need to put out a video quick and it's got to be good, but I don't know about what. So it's fucking stressing me out. Yeah, the data center thing. The problem with the data center stuff is that the mainstream media is talking about it. So it's like the mainstream media is talking about all the problems with the data centers. So it's like they want people to talk about how bad data centers are, which I don't like. So it's kind of like if the mainstream media is going to come out and tell us all the bad things going on with these data centers, and they're letting us know, people don't like data centers, and here's all the negative stuff associated with it. It's almost like they're purposely flooding the news with negative stuff about data centers so that people are upset about it, which makes me not want to talk about it. Like they're purposely trying to get me upset and talk about data centers, so then I'm going to not talk about it. Plus, I don't for sure know what they're doing. So like there's what they tell us that they're doing with the data centers, and then there's what they're actually doing, right? So I can't say for sure what they're actually doing with all these different data centers because I've never went and personally checked out these data centers. I haven't done my own tour of all these different data centers and found out for sure what's really going on. So I can't say for sure what's even happening at these data centers. So it's kind of like a similar situation like CERN. So you hear a lot of negative stuff about CERN, and there's the stuff they say that CERN does. And then there's the stuff that the conspiracy theorists online think that CERN's doing. But what is CERN doing for sure? I don't know. So I've never went and checked out the CERN machine and figured out for sure what it's doing. Right? So I can't tell you for sure what CERN does. Now there's people here in chat who will make all sorts of assumptions and statements about what CERN does, but I don't know for sure what it does. So I can't trust anything that you guys say that it's doing. I can't trust what anyone says about CERN. So do I trust what they tell me CERN's doing? The mainstream narrative? No. Do I trust what people online speculate about CERN? About it causing different realities and causing Mandela effects and whatnot? I hear people speculate all sorts of different stuff about CERN. Do I know if any of that's true? No. And have I personally done any experiments involving the CERN machine to figure it out for myself? No. So I have no clue. It might do nothing. So CERN might be nothing. It might be a machine that literally does nothing, that's there to scare people and be like this black ops money dump. Like they get people to spread all these conspiracy theories about CERN and what's going on there. And they spend all this money to build it. And it might actually just be nothing, right? For all I know. So I have to consider data centers might not be what they're saying. And the conspiracy theories going around online might also be false. So rather than me run with the shit that's going around online, I'm purposely not running with what they're saying, right? So it's like they are pushing on the news that the data centers are going to take up all the water and they're going to kick people out of their homes for the data centers to build these data centers. They're going to all of the electricity in certain areas to these data centers, and they're going to take away the electricity for certain neighborhoods and homes. So all the stuff we're hearing, it's all negative and all bad. And then what they tell me about these data centers, do I really trust what they're telling me? No. But am I going to trust the speculation online that they're going to be prisons for guys like me? You know, the speculation online is that these data centers aren't just for AI and collecting data, that they're actually going to be physical prisons. You know, like there's going to be some major Psyop event, and all these data centers are actually going to be prisons to hold, you know, terrorists like myself who come on here and go against the government, right? So people might insinuate that these data centers are going to be used as prisons, and I don't know. So I don't know for sure what they're doing with the data centers. It's a lot like CERN. There's just no way for me to know for sure what exactly they're doing. So rather than me run with the speculation or run with the online conspiracy theories, I'm just going to wait. It's going to wait and see. So I'm holding off on the data center talk, specifically because I see all the negative talk about data centers. So I'm going to wait. You know, if in 4 or 5 years, nobody ever mentions data centers ever again, well, then we'll know it's kind of like CERN, you know? All this CERN talk, CERN, oh my God, CERN, oh my God. It's going to rip a hole in the in reality. It's going to create this parallel universe. So all these conspiracy theories about CERN, and now no one ever really talks about CERN, right? Like CERN's like a forgotten about thing of the past. So it might be the same with data centers, you know? 4 or 5 years from now, you might never hear anyone talk about data centers ever again. Big Money Bob gifting Jake the Awake memberships, still out there hooking people up with gifted Jake the Awake memberships. Davey D from the LaFleur Network says, thanks for the stream, buddy. Kingpins bowling tomorrow. LaFleur Network, not rigged and scripted. Yeah, I know your bowling league is on Thursday, so good luck tomorrow. I hope you get a bunch of strikes, and I hope your team beats the other bowling team, whoever you play. So good luck to you and your bowling buddies tomorrow night. I hope you bowl a perfect game. And Rex James with a donation says, Jake, are you in the LA area? Keep seeing this Spencer Pratt guy here on the news. So I just saw that last night. I heard his name for the first time in many, many years. So I remember Spencer Pratt from like 15, 20 years ago or whatever when he was on MTV. So I remember he was on like some reality TV show on MTV a long time ago, and he was like the boyfriend of some girl from some reality TV show, right? So I remember him being like a character on MTV, like a bad guy heel type character that people didn't like on MTV. And so I hadn't heard his name, hadn't heard anyone mention him, and God, probably a decade or more, right? Over a decade, haven't heard anything about the guy. And then just yesterday, I heard that he was running for mayor in LA, and I saw a news clip. So yeah, apparently Spencer Pratt from the MTV reality TV show The Hills from a long, long time ago. Apparently he's running for mayor in Los Angeles. Crazy the way they reuse these world stage characters, right? Wouldn't shock me if he won either, right? Like if they're going to take the time to have this character on the world stage come back out and and run for mayor, then perhaps they have it scripted for him to win, right? So nothing shocks me at this point on the world stage. All right, y'all. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up now. I think I'm all caught up on super chats. And I'm getting hungry and tired, so I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight on another wacky, wild, wake 'em up Wednesday. And I'll try and get the next video uploaded as soon as possible once I figure out what the hell I'm going to make a video about. And I'll try and do another stream this weekend. So I'll see you guys either in the next video or the next live stream. So thank you to everyone who donated tonight. We had a ton of super chats come in, a lot of support. You guys really are the best audience on YouTube, and I appreciate hanging out with you guys as always. So until next time, this is the one and only Jake the Awake and the one and only Ralphie. There he is. Have Ralphie say goodbye. We're signing off, signing out. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great night. Much love to everyone out there in YouTube land and all you guys who sent messages that I didn't read. I'll go back and watch the replay, and I'll read all the messages. So even if I didn't pull your message up here and read it live, I'm going to go back and watch the replay later tonight, and I'll read every single message, and I'll see all the people who are here tonight. So thank you once more to every single person who participated here in this live chat. I really appreciate you all being here. So with that said, this is Jake the Awake and Ralphie saying good night, signing out. Peace out. Bye-bye. Have a good night. See you next time. I love you guys.